Welcome to the Indie Corner, where we talk about all things independent comics, specifically the... I'm doing the wrong intro because I haven't done this shit in so long, bro.
There's always like one podcast episode where someone fucks up the intro, and that's the intro. We just
Damn. All right. Get it together, Mikey. Get it together. Welcome to the Indie Corner After Dark. We're not only talking about all things independent comics, but everything comics. I'm Mikey.
I'm Seamus.
And today, people are back at it again with another episode of the Indie Corner After Dark, episode 26, people. And obviously, if you can tell from the thumbnail or from, if you're joining me on my Instagram Live, because we're multi-streaming this, we're going to test this out a little bit, see if it works out. We're going to be doing our recap of all the announcements of San Diego Comic-Con 2024 that just happened over the weekend. And yeah, Seamus, I'm excited because we did this last year for 2023, and it was a fun time. Yeah. So I want to do it again. But yeah, bro. So yeah, San Diego Comic-Con. Seamus, obviously you're familiar with San Diego Comic-Con, of course. The mecca of Comic-Con, the mecca of nerddom that happens every single year.
This is like the first big one we've had since COVID, because it kind of cooled for a couple years after COVID, didn't it? Because Marvel was skipping, DC didn't have anything, so it was kind of just like here's like a few movie announcements. So
exactly, bro.
This one was pretty hype.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was kind of interesting because last year's Comic-Con, due to the the writers and like the actor strikes, because no one could do any press, so a lot of the big movie studios and stuff pulled out. So it was just mostly focused on the creators and the comics, which obviously as it should be. And people thought that last year was like one of the best, New York Comic-Cons in a long time. So so yeah, bro, I don't know about you, but that's what the vibe that I was getting. I was hoping it would be like that again this year, but obviously because people can promote stuff again. So
yeah, I think it was a good balance this year. I feel like I got it was like half and half. You know what I mean? Like they had a good chunk of comic announcements on like Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday was all like the big like movie studio announcements and TV show stuff.
Exactly.
I thought it was a pretty good balance.
Exactly. But yeah, bro, listen, we'll get right into it. All right, we'll start over. But so first off, people, we're gonna be talking about the comic book stuff clearly. But we wanted to mostly just to start off, we wanted to highlight a lot of the Eisner Award winners, because the Eisner Awards, who I don't know, is pretty much like the Oscars for comic books, celebrating a lot of the creators, people in the industry that have worked on amazing books in the previous year. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about real quick just the notable Eisner winners of 2024, and I pretty much made a list of what I could grab, but it's mostly just the notable ones, the ones that stood out to me. So yeah, we'll just get right into it, people. But yeah, to start off, Eisner Awards 2024. So to start off, the first outlet that I have is best one shot or single issue, and that one went to Nightwing 105, written by Tom Taylor with art by Bruno Redondo from DC Comics. Seamus, you're reading Nightwing, right? Like, have you been reading Nightwing?
Yeah, it was on my best comics list last year. I like it. I think this issue was, I agree, it was one of the best single issues of the year. I just think that this is me looking like, yes, of course, this issue deserved it. It was a great issue. I'm just now at a point that it's like half a year later. I'm like, okay, Tom Taylor, God bless you, but let's time to move on, brother.
Yeah, it's time.
Yes, this issue, because it was I mean, as you can tell from the cover, it was an issue completely in first person view of Nightwing. Through like a day in his life, and it was very fun to see him like waking up next to Barbara and like getting ready, and you're like, oh look, I get to be Nightwing now. But the art and the writing were very well done. I love the paneling in this book, the way that it just brings you through in a very fluid way. It was good.
So it was literally just Nightwing, but like it was a comic book told from like a first person point of view. That's awesome. That's actually
it felt so much like I was just reading like a Mirror's Edge comic. The way it was like all like parkour and acrobatics, and I was like, all right, this is fun.
That's sick as hell. All right, yeah, I'm definitely gonna add that to the list when I eventually catch up on Nightwing, because I'm super behind. But yeah, next one up is best continuing series, and that one went to none only than our guy, Daniel Warren Johnson for Transformers from Image and Skybound. Yeah, man. I mean, we said this when we did our our best and worst comics of podcast of last year of 2023. But yeah, man, Transformers has been a blast. I mean, we were fans of Daniel Warren Johnson from Beta Ray Bill, do a power bomb. Obviously, because me and Seamus are big wrestling fans, and the fact that he headlined his own title, and it's been nothing but a banger after a banger after a banger. I thought was great, and obviously this was well deserved. So yeah, congrats to Daniel Warren Johnson, man. For real.
Yeah, because I'm a Transformers fan in the same way a lot of people say they're Star Wars fans, which is that I've seen the movies, the animated movies too. That's about it. I played the Fall of Cybertron games. That's about it for me. So that's why I went to the panel for this at New York Comic Con, and I was like, I'll check it out and see if it's exciting. And the first page they showed was that one where Optimus accidentally kills the deer.
Yeah, bro.
And I was like, oh my god! And I was instantly like, this is gonna be great. Just Optimus like doing this over the deer, and I was like, oh, this might be lit.
And shout out to Rebecca, because literally she put me on a Transformers when we did our More Than Meets the Eye series, so that was really fun. And then and obviously right when we finished that, this was announced, and I just read do a power bomb and all that stuff. So I was like, yeah, Daniel Warren Johnson, I'm rocking with you, bro, and he's been killing it. And I love all the. Especially if you read the most recent issue, they bring back a character who was one of my favorite characters in More Than Meets the Eye, and it was great. So yeah, man, Daniel Warren Johnson, big ups to you, bro. Good job, bro. Congrats. Next one up is best new series, and this one went to. This is a book that I've downloaded on my Comixology, but haven't on my Distillery account, but I haven't really read it yet because I've been busy so much, but It is Somna, a bedtime story written by Becky Cloonan with art by Tula Lote from, it says Marvel on there by mistake, but it's actually from Distillery, which is that new online comic book publication from the former guys from Comixology. Seamus, have you read Somna at all? Have you heard about it?
Not at all. I only heard about it vaguely when I was trying to research more horror comics to read, more ooh stuff. So I honestly know nothing about this, but the fact that, I mean, that cover looks sick as hell. That might be added to my Comixology soon too, because that looks cool.
From what I understand, it's pretty much like an erotic horror series. Yeah, so
I gotta get on that.
Yeah, so that's what kind of drew me to it, because I've been reading a little bit more spicy books lately. After
let me Google.
I've been back into Sunstone.
You
so,
gotta.
I will rep Sunstone all day.
So listen, the people who watch already know we're Sunstone reppers. We are Sunstone defenders.
Exactly.
Oh my god. Dude, you didn't tell me it's erotic witches in my hometown of the
bro. It takes place in Salem. Yeah. So it's that's what kind of drew me to it, that pitch. So it's been downloaded, but I haven't read it yet. But I mean, Becky Cloonan is an amazing writer, and Tula Luteza, I follow her. I've been following her work for the past couple of years. She's an amazing artist. So this is definitely something. If y'all want to check something out, something interesting, a little erotic, spicy witch stuff, Somna. I hear it's amazing. So congrats to Becky Cloonan and Tula Lute and Distillery. That's awesome. Next book, next category is best webtoon. Best webcomic. And then another went to, and they always win every year, is Lore Olympus, written with art by Rachel Smythe. So yeah. Which is the Greek god, the Greek mythology, romance.
It's literally like the only webtoon I've ever heard about. It's like the one I keep hearing about, where they're like, "Oh, you know what I mean?" Like I heard about it years ago, and now it's like, it's good to see it win, because I think it's deservedly good. It's good, but it also, I think, has gotten a lot of people into reading more webtoon stuff. You know what I mean?
I think so as well. And I mean, this is a book that kind of put webtoon on the map, which again is crazy, because webtoon is more Korean and like manhwa and like manga webcomics, but then this was the American held webcomic that blew it the hell up. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's great to see her win every year. I think it's phenomenal.
I was already on Webtoon reading like Solo Leveling and like Tower of God and shit. And then when this came on, I was like, oh my, well, wait, is this like, because when I first saw it, I was like, oh, Rachel Smythe is not a Korean name. Interesting.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, I think this book is like it is a good book, but it also is worthy for like pushing forward the industry of Webtoon and like comics in that style to be like, more popular, which is always a good thing because that's how we got like Wayne Family Adventures and shit.
Yeah, and also like one book I've been reading is 1,000 by Sanford Green and Chuck Brown. Like that book is sick as hell. And a lot of I think it's like this book we put a lot of like American Western creators onto Webtoon. Like I know Fabian Nicieza has a book on Webtoon. Like they get like a lot of really dope creators in the West are making waves on Webtoon, as well as the creators in the East, with Korea and Japan. So I think it's awesome. But yeah, all right. So next category, people, is best graphic album and album reprint. Well, this one there was one just for a regular graphic album. But I thought this one was I think this one needed to be highlighted. And you'll get why, Seamus. But that one was actually a tie. So it went to two books. Hip Hop Family Tree, written by Ed Piskor from Fantagraphics, and Wonder Woman Historia of the Amazons, by Kelly Sue DeConnick, Phil Jimenez, Nicholas Scott, and Gene Ha. So yeah, bro, I thought this one stood out to me obviously because people that don't know Ed Piskor, who is a creator outside from the Pittsburgh area and who did who ran who co-hosted the podcast Cartoonist Kayfabe, which is one of my favorite channels on YouTube. He recently passed away a few months ago, committed suicide, and this was his baby. This was one of the books that put him on the map, was Hip Hop Family Tree, and there's that. But also Wonder Woman Historia, which I read a little bit of, is actually really good. I mean, Kelly Sue DeConnick and Philly Menace killed that book. So I thought this was a really nice. That's why I want to highlight it, because it's Ed Piskor getting his flowers, and and I think as well.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, I've always thought that the Ed Piskor situation was very tough, given what he was accused of specifically, and how that whole situation turned out. It is such like a weird thing because I also was a fan of his, and the stuff that he did was objectively horrific, but I don't know if him killing himself was like the justified end. I know we did a video on this when it happened, or a segment on this back in February or March about this, and I don't, it's a very tough situation because I don't know if, I feel like maybe it should have gotten its own separate shout out, because I feel like it is such a knock on Wonder Woman Historia to be tied with a book that is mired in such like horrific controversy. You know what I mean? Where like Wonder Woman Historia was a great book, and Kelly Sue DeConnick was it's so well written, and Phil Jimenez, Gene Ha, and just knock it out of the park, and to be tied with a book that is like just so like mired in death
and controversy.
It's tough for them, and I really do feel for them specifically because like I said, the whole situation is tough.
It's tough, and we've talked about it off camera, and it's mostly like it sucks because it's mostly for what we know, it's kind of hearsay. Like we didn't get a chance to state his case or to have it just go to trial.
Listen, I think
I digress.
I think that I personally believe the person who came out, and I support them first and foremost. But I think that him killing himself it sealed his own fate. I don't want to talk bad about him because I don't know the full details of the situation. No one else does. I believe the girl who came out, and I think him killing himself has solidified me just believing her, because he didn't bother to try to state his own case or try to talk about it. He just left in his note the whole thing about how he's like, internet bullies got to me. And I'm like, hey man, maybe they did, but like, you not saying anything about it and just ending your own life, as depressing as that is, you're not helping anyone, even yourself. You know what I mean? So that's why I think it's so difficult to have a book nominated and win alongside such a book that was so good, that was so pure.
But here's the thing. I digress. Like, I don't want to really talk much about that situation, but Hip Hop Family Tree, from what I've seen though, and plus
it was
a dope book.
It was a good book. Divorced from it, but I think it is sometimes hard to divorce that kind of, you know what I mean, from the creation of the book.
I got you. But all right, so just moving on. Congrats, obviously, to the late Ed Piskor and Kelly Sujaconic and the whole team. That's great. The next one up is Best Anthology Series, and this one also won the Eisner for last year as well. But it is Comics for Ukraine, and that is edited by Scott Dumpler. Yeah, I think that's how you say his name. But from Zoop. Did you hear about this, Seamus? The Comics for Ukraine? Yeah, well, pretty much it's just pretty much kind of a activist kind of effort, just to bring awareness to the Ukraine, situation. So that one again, which is great. So I like that comics like this are being, addressed and being spotlighted, for their significance, especially at the Eisners. So I haven't checked it out personally, but people that are interested in it, check it out. It is out, and apparently it is very good from what we've seen. But yeah. Next one up, next category we got up is now we're going to like the big one, the big category. So best writer of last year goes none other than Mariko Tamaki for her book Roaming, by I think like Daily Quarterly Press, and that's what it's called. Like Daily Quarterly is what it's called. Seamus, have you checked out? Have you ever heard about this book at all from Mariko Tamaki?
No, I haven't.
Yeah. I haven't really heard much about it either. I mean, I don't have much to say on it, but from what I've seen doing research from grabbing images, it looks really cool. And she does this, I believe, with her sister as well. Mm-hmm. So it's a family effort book. But yeah, I mean, congrats to Mariko Tamaki, because I'm a fan of her other stuff, especially with DC. So I'm happy that she won. Good for her. So next one up, best writer / artist, and that goes none other than our guy again, Daniel Warren Johnson for Transformers.
Yes, sir. I love that he writes and draws his own books. I like it. I know not everyone can do it. I don't put it on anyone, but I specifically love that he does it.
Dude, it's literally
just more cohesive,
Like a lot. That's why he's become one of my favorite creators in the past few years, because I respect. I really admire creators that write, draw, and maybe ink or color their own stuff, because that's what I want to do in my potential comic book career. Again, like Kari Andrews, who is one of my favorite creators of all time. That's what he does. So I always respect artists and creators that write and draw, not just stick to just one lane. So I appreciate that. So again, Daniel Warren Johnson, congrats. We will get you on the podcast. I want him on the podcast so bad at some point.
Dude, it literally just turned into like a pro wrestling podcast where we'd be sitting there just talking about shit like that. Right. No comments. We'd just be like, so what do you think of Cody Rhodes holding the title so long?
Exactly, right? But yeah, bro. So the next category is best penciler / inker or penciler and inker team, and that goes to Jillian Tamaki for Roaming. That's the same book that she does with her sister, Mariko Tamaki. And looking from the artwork here, like I think the artwork looks really cool, very interesting, very kind of like Brian Lee O'Malley-esque to me, very indie underground type of vibes. Know what I mean?
I like the color scheme. The inking looks sick as hell. It looks very nice.
It looks very nice. I'm trying to look up a synopsis real quick just to see if this is just to get more people on the book. Okay, there we go. But I said the story. Okay, I looked up. So the story in Roaming spans just 5 days as old friends Danny and Zoe reunite on their first break from college. Tagging along is Danny's new classmate Fiona, whose presence quickly threatens to upend the trip. Okay, so it's a kind of a coming of age, college story. Okay, that's really cool. Young adult story. That's really cool.
Yeah, it sounds cool.
Congrats to Julian Tamaki, of course. Next category, best painter / multimedia artist. Oh, just real, I'm checking on Instagram. Shout out to Rutina, who I met at BlurCon from Believe It or Not. She does really dope merch. She sells anime bonnets and backpacks and bags and stuff. She's really dope. She made me this. she actually gave me this One Piece tote bag for free. I don't know if you want to see this, Seamus, real quick. But yeah, it's like this straw. She made this herself, and it was really dope. So shout out to you, Rutina. Best. She's really awesome. But
that means you gotta start watching now, Mikey.
Yeah, I should.
Sorry, motherfucker.
Listen, I love the live action. Live action was dope. But best penciler / multimedia artist, that one goes to, again, who she's won many years at this point, Sanaa Takeda for the series Monsters. And again, I haven't touched this series, but we will do it on the podcast.
That was on my fucking list.
That
was on my best comics list, motherfucker.
Oh, really?
I understood. Listen, you just read down my best comics list, and it's literally, this will win an Eisner in 6 months. This will get an Eisner in 6 months. Because I was like, I shouted it out because I was like, Monstrous been kind of good. I know I'm not an Image reader normally, but I was like, listen, I kind of fuck with the fact that it's like a 20th century Asia in like a matriarchal world.
Dude, literally. Like, I mean, I haven't touched the book at all, but I've always seen Sanaa Takeda's art because I follow her, and it's beautiful stuff. Like, it makes sense why she dominates. She's been dominating like every single year for the past like couple years. But also, real quick, shout out to Jason Sean Alexander, who does one of our favorite books that we've read. Black Literature and the King, because he was nominated as well. But listen, as long as he was nominated,
he was nominated, and Monsters has some of the best visuals I've seen in a comic book. I like it. I'm so glad this won at least something because it's been so good. I don't know. It's just very. You ever see that anime Parasite?
Yes.
It's like Parasite, but with like a female girl. This girl who's like living in like a female dominated world, and they're fighting against monsters who can like shapeshift as humans. And her arm gets cut off, and then in its place has one of those shape-shifting humans that they're fighting against, and then they kind of team up to like discover what's really going on. It's very fun.
Okay, sick.
The visuals have been fucking
I would
insane.
love to do it on the podcast one day because again, I love the artwork, and Marjorie Liu here is a great writer. But yeah, that's gonna be on the list for sure, bro. All right, so next one, best cover artist, and this one went to none other than Peach Momoko, for her, obviously her various titles or her alternate covers for Marvel. Again, we talked about her enough when off camera when it comes to the Ultimate X-Men and all of her other covers. She's phenomenal.
She was in my I think, was she on both of ours best of last year?
No, she was on yours. I had
she
a
was
different
on mine
cover
for the Moon Knight and Spider-Man covers and shit, because I was like, dude.
No, she's dope. I mean, her variant covers are beautiful, very using a very watercolor like style. Again, she's also a Japanese artist, so again, her and Sanaa Takeda makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, her Ultimate X-Men art has been so good.
It's been so good. I mean, I have to read the new issue. I'm behind, but yeah, it is. She is a phenomenal talent, and I'm hoping that she. Obviously, with Ultimate X-Men, it was a stepping stone for her doing like actual like interiors, but I want to see her do more interiors along with covers. You know what I mean?
Dude, she does some cool shit in the newest issue of Ultimate X-Men. She does some cool shit. Dude, she gives Nico her staff finally, and she finally is like, all right, they're called X-Men. We did it, Joe. We landed the plane. They're called X-Men finally.
Oh man. But yeah, so real quick on IG, shout out to Chris, shout out to my other friend Chris, shout out to Roan. Seamus, I see you out here being trolling. Shout out. But yeah, man. All right, so the next one is the last one I have is best coloring, and that went none other than to Jordi Belair for Batman, Birds of Prey, and also for I picked this one out of nowhere, but for World Tree as well. But she also does, I think, like she does something that's killing with children. She has a lot of books. Birds
of Prey looks so fucking good.
But yeah, her coloring, especially because I'm reading Birds of Prey right now, it is beautiful work. Beautiful work. Yeah, man. Yeah. So Jordi Belair, man, congrats to you. You deserve it. And again, she be putting in that work. So she does so many books. So congrats to her. But yeah, man, that is all I got on the Eisners. Overall, I thought this was pretty good. I mean, there were way more categories, obviously, but I couldn't put all of them just for the sake of time. But yeah, congrats to everybody who won. I know for this year, this was special because this year was like mostly female dominated. Like a lot of female creators won this year, which is great. So congrats to all of y'all.
Like deservedly so, given that like most of these were on our best of the year list, and we were like, yeah,
exactly,
this is lit.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm gonna check out some of those other books that I didn't like roaming. I'm gonna read Somna and all that stuff. Hopefully, Somna might be on my best list for next year. Hopefully. But yeah, bro. Yeah. So Eisner Awards. That's it for that segment. Now we're gonna go to more comic book stuff. So we're gonna talk about some of the recent comic book announcements from San Diego Comic-Con. And
we're gonna be here.
Yeah, we're gonna be here for a bit, but we're gonna try to go through them as quick as we can.
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna snap through these.
But yeah, bro. So what I have a bunch of slides. So I have multiple books on one slide. So we're on each slide. So we're gonna go through it. But
we'll crank through these real quick.
Yeah, to start off, we got the newly announced TVA book by Kathleen Blair and Prey Perez, as well as the Justice Society of America book, written by Jeff Lemire with art by Daniel Ortolagua. That's how you say the name. But from what I know from both these books, it's pretty much just the TVA is a direct. It's actually directly from Marvel Studios. So this is going to be a tie-in to a sequel series to the Loki season 2, Loki season 2, and it's going to be featuring Agent Hunter B-15, Sylvia, Mobius, as well as some new characters and Miss Menace, as well as new characters such as some in the Marvel universe, like a heartbroken Remy LeBeau is in there, a heartbroken Gambit is a variant is in there, and other characters will show up. So what are your thoughts on that, Seamus, real quick?
Listen, no disrespect to the creative team behind it. I'm sure they'll probably do a great job, but for me personally, it feels I'm probably not gonna pick it up. It just doesn't interest me.
Yeah.
And I understand they're trying to do like a look. It's not just an MCU tie-in. We have Gambit and Spider-Gwen. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I appreciate you trying, but like, it's gonna be a no from me, dog.
And it's not like it's gonna matter, like in the MCU. You know what I mean? Because once I saw Spider-Gwen, I was like, yeah, this shit actually doesn't matter.
Yeah, and like a preface to all. If I say no to any of these books later, I hope they are good, and I hope they're good enough that I get that I'm like I gotta go out of my way to read that. You know what I mean? So I hope it is good, but for me, the premise itself, I'm like, nah, that's enough for me.
Honestly, bro, fair enough. But yeah, so what are your thoughts on the Justice Society of America book?
Justice Society, that's a day one buy, dude. You're putting Jeff Lemire on a Justice Society book with fucking that new Dr. Fate design and shit.
That, bro, I saw that shit, bro. I was like, yeah, it's a wrap. It's a wrap for me. And the thing is, like, you know me, bro. I'm a huge Justice Society of America fan. Like, I love those characters a lot. So the fact that we're gonna be seeing like some adult, like Alan Scott, Our Man, like Obsidian, and like some of the Infinity Inc. characters as well come back. Like Jade is gonna be coming back as well. Again, I think I saw like some Wildcat. Is it the second Doctor Midnight coming through, or is it or is it the main one? Oh well, either or, man. I'm so excited. I'm definitely be checking that out for sure. And yeah, I don't really have the release dates for these because I forgot to put those in my notes. But yeah, this book is gonna come out, eventually. No, I mean,
these are all coming out. I think these are all coming out like October, November, and beyond because they're all part of All In.
Yeah. Oh,
TVA, no clue. Every DC book though, it's probably going to be October, November, beyond.
Yeah, that one we don't have a release date for. But also, just rewind the tape. Kathleen Blair was one of the main writers on Loki season 2, so that's why she's.
Yeah, that's what I heard, and I'm like, I liked Loki's writing enough, but I don't know if the comic interests me enough to pick it up. But
I got you. But yeah, so moving on. The next title we got is Absolute Flash, also written by Jeff Lemire, with artwork by Nick Robles. I think that's how you say his name. Yeah, Seamus, you probably have more to say about this. More to say on this more than me. But like, what are your thoughts on Absolute Flash, man?
I am excited. That the era of Barry Allen is over. Jeff Johns lost. We're only getting Wally books from now on. God bless you
bro.
for trying, Jeff, but no. I'm excited that it's Wally. From the looks of this, it looks. I got 18 different ideas of what this could be. I mean, from what it looks like right now, I mean, it looks like the fight between the Flash and the Reverse Flash at his home when he was a kid. You know what I mean? Which is interesting that they're keeping that. But Jeff Lemire as a writer for Flash is such an outside pick that I normally wouldn't peg as like a Flash writer. But I feel like he could bring such an interesting and different kind of like style to the Flash that would be really cool. Because like I love his Moon Knight book. I love him on when he was writing Batman for a bit. I loved his kind of odd style. So that's why I'm excited to see him on a Flash that is specifically built to be different and maybe a little odd.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like all the other Absolute books, but I'm excited for this one. This is going to be like another day one pickup for me.
I mean, for me personally, again, I'm a huge fan of Lemire. Like, because my first introduction to Lemire was his New 52 Green Arrow, and
that's also a good one.
Loved Moon Knight, all that stuff. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he does with this version of the Flash. Again, because it's Wally West, and we're Wally stands till the day we die. So the fact that that's gonna be his Flash that he's gonna be working on is gonna be dope. For sure. But yeah, bro, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what he does with Flash, bro. But yeah, I have nothing else to say. But moving on from there, we got none other than another Absolute book, Absolute Green Lantern, which is I did not write written by
Al Ewing
and drawn by Janoy Lindsay.
Oh boy, Al Ewing.
Bro, and you're Al Ewing. You're an Al Ewing.
I called this out too. I literally was like, I hope it's Al Ewing on either a Green Lantern or a Martian Manhunter. And I was fucking right.
Yeah,
yeah. I love. I do like that it's Joe Mullen from Far Sector, I guess.
Yeah, and Far Sector, I'm like slept on was Far Sector was so slept on, bro. And that book is incredible.
I mean, yeah, if there's rarely a better way to do a new Green Lantern than by doing a new Green Lantern. So,
exactly,
you know what I mean? If you want to make Green Lantern new and different, just take the most recent Green Lantern they introduced and be like, Although I think it would have been really funny if they were like, yo, Absolute Green Lantern is Simon Baz. We're bringing him back.
But from what I read from the article on that comicbook.com, we said like it's not just going to be it's not just going to be Joe. We're going to see a version of Hal. I think maybe we're going to see other lanterns that we're familiar with.
I assume Joe is going to be the ride-along character, and they're going to introduce her as like the new member of the Green Lantern Corps, and all the others are going to be there. Because I heard the same thing, and I was like, oh, interesting. So they'll probably just do Joe as like a new ride-along character, which would be fun. I like her as a main character.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited. I mean, from seeing this artwork, obviously Janoy Lindsay. I've been following their work for a little bit. They're very talented artists, so I'm really liking kind of like this grounded take on the Green Lanterns. They kind of remind me a little bit of like Green Lantern, like Earth One.
Earth One, yeah. I was literally mid sentence of saying it's like because their suit, whatever the clothes they're wearing become their Green Lantern costume in a way, which is interesting. But I also like how if you look like the green cracks in her face and everything, like if you look at her chest, like what's going on there? I have so many questions that I'm interested in to see how the Green Lantern power works. Is it even a ring anymore, or is it something else?
Right? Yeah. So we'll see, man. But I'm looking forward to it. All right, the next batch is this one I didn't really know about. Next one was a surprise. But we have none other than The New Gods by Ram V, with art by Evan Cagle, and West Coast Avengers by Jerry Duggan and Danny Kim. So I'm gonna say this real quick just to do this West Coast Avengers. The fact it's interesting because this is a completely new roster for West Coast Avengers because it's not what I'm used to. Because we're used to more grounded characters, not me for West Coast Avengers, but we have Iron Man, we have Tony Stark, we have War Machine, we have Jessica Drew as Spider-Woman, we have Firestar, and a version of, I guess, Ultron.
Is it Hank? Is it like the Hank Pym Ultron?
I don't know.
Because listen, we don't know what the fuck was going on when they canceled Avengers Inc. halfway through. After Al Ewing was like, "Hey, I'm gonna finally do something with Hank Pym and Ultron." And Hank Pym's back, And then now it's like that got canceled. So are they just being like, no, it's Hank Pym in an Ultron suit. So he's like, they just have 3 Iron Men on this West Coast Avengers team.
From what I saw, they did not really, from the articles that I read, they did not really reveal who it is. But that was my immediate thought. It's probably maybe Hank Pym, because last time we saw Hank Pym, he and Ultron merged together, and then he just went off to do his own thing or whatever. So, I mean,
weird team.
Yeah, it's
like
weird.
Objectively, like a weird.
Like Firestar.
Honestly, I'm more than down for them. I'm more than down for them at this point, being like, throw whoever the fuck. I want people. You know what I mean? I want people who've never spoken a word to each other on a team.
And the last time we saw the West Coast Avengers was the Kelly Thompson run, where she had Kate Bishop on the team, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah, that's where we got Jeff from.
Yeah, exactly.
The last time, Jeff the Shark debut.
Also, just running the tape. Shout out to Kelly Thompson, because she won an Eisner for best humorous publication. And it was the It's Jeff, the Jeff first book. So that was really fun. Yeah. But yeah, man. So West Coast Avengers, I'm probably gonna check out. It got me curious. I'm checking out the first issue to see how I like it. But I'm intrigued.
That's more of like a West Coast Avengers is more of a maybe. Rom v New Gods is an instant day one. I'm getting every variant for it.
Yeah, so bro, talk about it, bro. Talk to me, bro. What do you think about New Gods, man?
The fact, front and center, we got our boy Orion back, and then we got Barda back there. You know what I mean? We got all those fucking heads. There's Mr. Miracle. Haven't seen him since that Tom King run, motherfucker.
That's true. We haven't seen Mr. Miracle in a minute.
So and they're standing in front, like guarding the source wall for some reason.
Yeah,
I'm super interested in seeing what they're doing. Like, are they guarding it from Darkseid, or is it going to be something else? Because they're all looking up like it's a big thing that they're going to fight. But
the thing is, man, I've been enjoying. I've been a fan of Rom V ever since he did an indie book with Boom that I really enjoyed, and the fact that he's incorporating Orion, which is Mr. Miracle back again. We haven't seen him since Tom King. And Barda's back. I've been loving Barda on Birds of Prey. So I'm definitely gonna be checking this out for sure. But yeah, man, New Gods, West Coast Avengers. I think we approve. I think we're about them. Next one's up. This one is kind of a funny one, and then the next one as well is I want to talk about. But were you aware? Have you ever watched the movie Idiocracy with Terry Crews? And
I heard about this, dude. I heard about this. I was like, why would this be a thing?
So, for people who don't know, people who haven't watched the 2006 movie Idiocracy, with Luke Wilson, Maya Rudolph, Terry Crews, it's hilarious. I love it. It's very meta in a way, because that movie kind of low-key predicting the future. But apparently at San Diego Comic-Con, Terry Crews was there, and he announced that he has been developing himself a Idiocracy spin-off focusing on the character sequel series a one-shot comic focusing on the character of President Camacho that he's played, and he was releasing dropping images. He was been dropping issues for free at the con, and it turns out they only printed 2,024 issues, because that is when Idiocracy takes place, and they dropped they gave 1,000 for free, and then the rest are going to be sold in local comic book shops in in the California area. So that's crazy that they did that. And obviously on the second one is the new relaunch of Deadpool being written by Cody Ziegler, and it's going to be focusing on Deadpool's daughter, who has been introduced recently in the comics. Is taking up the mantle of Deadpool and is being trained by none other than our boy Tony Masters, aka
boy.
So yeah, Seamus, what are your thoughts on these, man? On these comics, bro?
I might check out the President Camacho
if you can
one.
Find it.
If I can find it, if someone uploads it somewhere, I might check it out. It's just such a silly idea for a movie that only Mikey cares about. You know, like a movie that only 4 people care about. This was made specifically for Mikey. Good. I'm glad you got yours, man. But but the Deadpool comic I'm interested in. I hope it is kind of a little bit of a parody of legacy heroes, and that's kind of the joke. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
randomly introducing like, oh, Wade Wilson has a daughter, no, she's Deadpool, is objectively like a funny premise. To, like, have a lot of jokes about specifically Miles Morales in there, but because it'd be like so silly.
I mean, I think it's gonna be cool. I mean, I heard about the whole daughter thing in some previous and from stuff I heard from Deadpool. I haven't read a Deadpool comic in years, so I don't know if I'm gonna pick this up or not. But I'll maybe check out the first issue and see what's going on. But apparently, when I did my research, his daughter Ellie, I think that's her name. She also like inherited Deadpool's healing factor, so I was like, because like at first I thought she didn't have any powers, but then I was like, oh no, she has a healing factor. Okay, that makes sense. She has a little bit of a leg up to why she carried the Deadpool mantle.
You know what her last name is?
I looked it up, but it escapes me, bro. Remind me real quick.
Ellie's last name is Camacho.
I see. Listen, man. I didn't even mean to even put these two together. That was just pure coincidence, bro.
Her last name is Camacho. Isn't that hilarious? I literally was sitting here going like, yeah, Ellie was introduced. Oh my god, her last name is Camacho. Why did you put these together?
but yeah, man.
She was introduced. What? It's been like a decade since she was actually introduced, but she hasn't done anything.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool that like she's gonna be in the forefront taking up her dad's mantle. Because Deadpool, I guess spoilers, people haven't read the book, but apparently like he's dead, like he died somehow. Again, so she's gonna be taking on the mantle. So I'm curious to see how it goes.
Any comic character dead, I don't give a shit about anymore.
Yeah.
The last one that actually worked was Wolverine. That's the last one that worked because they kept him dead for a couple of years. This Deadpool one, they're gonna bring him back in 2 years once the Avengers movie drops and Deadpool's there, and they're like, we gotta make money.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I'm gonna be checking if I can find the Camacho one. I'm gonna read the shit out of it. I'm gonna check out the first issue of this and see how I like it. But yeah, so we'll just keep on moving on. So the next one, okay, this the next one, Seamus. The one I know for a fact we're both gonna be excited about, and the second one I just put on there because I thought it was cool. I thought it was gonna be cool because just the writer, just the creative team behind it. But we have, I know for last year, your favorite comic book of last year was World's Finest. By Dan Moore. So obviously, when I found out that Dan Moore and Mark Waid are gonna come back to bring back the Justice League title back, but it's gonna be titled Justice League Unlimited, I was like, sign me up. I'm done. It's a wrap for me. And on the second one, we also have, Declan Shelby, who's been making his waves, doing, with Dynamite, starting off with, Thundercats book. He's going to be working on a Terminator series as well for Dynamite. So, yeah, man, off rip, bro. I'm excited for Justice League Unlimited. I loved Mark. I'm a Mark Waid fan. Love Dan Moore's artwork. And the fact that they're going to be on Justice League together, leaving World's Finest, unfortunately. But again, I think this is definitely a plus that they're going to be on this book together. I love the roster we got.
Yeah,
Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. I think is this Barry Allen as Flash or is this Wally?
Wally. They said, "Fuck you." It's Wally.
Yeah. Wally West as the Flash.
Mark Waid was like, yeah. It remind me again who I wrote for like a decade.
Facts. I think he's rocking a new costume, which I think is a cool costume.
I like it. I like how DC realized they're like, hey, wait, we don't have to just put Green Lanterns on teams. We can put other lanterns on teams.
Exactly. Right?
And they're like, oh fuck, Star Sapphire's not doing anything. Put her on there. I like Black Lightning on there.
Black Lightning, Captain Atom, Star Sapphire, bro. Like it's different.
It's a great team.
It's different. It's a good team.
It's a good different team. It's like a different team that I'm like, it's not full of nobodies. You know what I mean? They got the Flash in there as they're like, look, we still got someone cool on here. At least if everyone else sucks, but. Yeah, I'm so excited for that. It's gonna be so good.
It's gonna be so fun.
How is Dan Moore gonna like live a life outside of just drawing
DC character?
Because he's on a couple other books that we'll probably talk about later. But I'm like, dude, you can take a break. You can take a minute. You can only do like one book.
But yeah, bro. So that's great. Obviously, that's a double thumbs up from us. We're so excited for it. But what are your thoughts on this Terminator book, man? Because I mean, Declan Shelby I like him as a creator. He's a good writer. He's a good artist. So
yeah, I hope it's good. I mean, I'm a Terminator fan, so I'll probably check it out. But yeah, it sounds interesting. I like that cover too.
It's a dope cover, man. But But yeah, just real quick on IG, shout out to Stacey Robinson who joined. Again, Stacey Robinson from Black Kirby, and also Seamus, you don't know, but Stacey Robinson was a friend of mine. He was an intern at Milestone back in the day. So there's that. He worked with Dwayne and Derek Dingle back in the day. So so he's an OG. He's an OG that I love and respect. So yeah, thanks Stacey for joining us. Next, the last bit of slides that we got for the comic book announcement section is Lord Kitty Wolverine by Erica Schultz and Giada Belviso. And again, from Johnson Milestone again, but we're gonna get a Shadow Cabinet book by none other than Joe Illidge, the legend, and Daryl Banks, bro. Seamus, what do you think? What do you think of? We'll start off with Laura Kinney first. Start off with Wolverine.
Yeah, I mean, I love Wolverine. I will be there day one to buy this book. I'm so glad Laura Kinney's Wolverine. It feels right. It feels nice.
It feels right?
Yeah, her suit looks sick as fuck, and I love that. Listen, it's so simple. I've been a fan of the Foot Claws for years. Ever since I was a wee lad, I've always been like, Foot Claws are sick as hell. And little tangent, but I'm so glad. I mean, we'll talk about this on Wednesday, but like, I'm so glad they remembered. Oh yeah, she has Foot Claws in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Foot Claws,
She's doing some cool shit there. But yeah, I'll definitely.
For me, I really loved, especially with All New All Different Marvel. I think it was All New All Different that when she became Wolverine, I love that like transition with Laura. I think it just fits. It feels right. I mean, we had her as just X-23 for years. So the fact that she actually transitions to Wolverine proper, I loved. I know they got rid of that when during the Krakoa age she just became Talon and got rid of the costume, and I was like, come on, like
I was like, fucking have her wear the costume with Logan. It's funny. Exactly, then Logan has like a little mini me that he's like, oh look, she's wearing my costume, and you can see like Dad Wolverine, you know?
Exactly.
And that's like the character. That's like the dynamic I love the most about him. Is that because Logan has always had a series of young women that he's like, all right, she's chill. Don't fuck with her. And now he has an actual daughter that he gets to now fully dress up as a Wolverine and be like, yeah, man.
True, bro. I mean, it's awesome. Like, I saw she has an updated costume with a kind of like a hood look, and I was like, that's really cool. But yeah, man, I'm actually gonna check this out. I'm very excited to see Laura back as Wolverine, and yeah, man. What's I don't know much about Erica Schultz's work, but maybe it's gonna be my intro to it, I guess. And also, again, Shadow Cabinet. Shout out to, Milestone, Joe Illidge, who we follow each other. Great, amazing. He's a legend. The fact that, again, because I told you off camera, I was worried that, like, there were no Milestone announcements with the start of the year. So yeah, I'm happy that this is, like, this is going to be, like, one of their first announcements back is the Shadow Cabinet team. And that's one of my favorite. Shout out to Sean from Pyroglyphs, my boy Sean from Zion. That's, like, his favorite team. We talk about it a lot. So, like, Shadow Cabinet is going to be a good time, and we see, bro.
They look sick as hell,
bro. So we see, obviously on the top we got Dharma coming back, obviously, who's a leader. Iron Butterfly, again, who's a Palestinian hero, which is gonna be great. But we got my boy Anansi from like the Static Shock TV show, fam.
Yup.
What?
Oh, it's lit as hell, dude.
It's gonna be lit. It's gonna be dope. And I looked up Daryl Banks' art because I'm not really familiar with his work. Amazing artist, like literally like dope ass artist, bro. And obviously this cover is a variant cover. I think it's a variant cover, or it's gonna be the main cover, drawn by none other than my savior in Christ, Nicholas Draper Ivy. Killing it as always. So yeah, man. I'm excited, and I'm hoping that this won't just be the only Milestone title for the year. I'm hoping to maybe get some more titles to come back, maybe some Static or Icon or whatever. I don't care. I want more Milestone, and I'm happy that we're still getting some Milestone. They haven't forgotten about Milestone, so that's wonderful. Yeah, Seamus, that's pretty much it for all the new combo announcements. We got through it. I think we breezed through them all pretty well.
Did it? We didn't even have to talk about Absolute Batman.
I mean, do you have any thoughts you want to say on any of the stuff?
All I want to say is it's funny. They were like, yeah, he's blonde and jacked and a city engineer, and Alfred's a secret agent, but like a full secret agent, and Batman's poor. And I'm like, man, okay, yeah, whatever, man.
And honestly, the design for it doesn't really hit for me. I'm not really like a fan of it. So
listen, like, yeah, I think I told you, I've said this before. I love Scott Snyder. I don't know what new shit he could bring to a Batman, even changing it this drastically, that I wouldn't feel like I'm just reading something I've read before. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
So, because that's the most that's the closest one releasing. I think that's like end of October it's releasing.
I think so. Yeah.
But yeah,
I know for a fact though when it comes to like Superman, and Superman I'm intrigued by because again it's is it who's writing Superman again? Is it Jason Aaron?
Jason Aaron, yeah, on Superman.
And I heard that the concept was like, what if Superman actually like instead of coming to Krypton as a baby, he came as like an adult instead, or like
that's what I said. I hope it's that. I pray it's that. That would be really cool.
And then Kelly Thompson's Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman's the one that I'm most on board for from just the description of like Kelly Thompson on Wonder Woman, and she like probably was raised by Hades for like, you know what I mean, and she's like, oh yeah, she's like war bound.
It said like, what if Wonder Woman wasn't on a like magical island of like just warrior women? What if she didn't have that sisterhood to help raise her? Yeah, I was like, that's actually a really good idea to take that out.
I'm like, that's cool. Go ahead.
That design is hard. That's a hard ass design, bro. It's tough. But yeah, people. That's pretty much it with the comic book stuff. What's up, Seamus? You want to say what I cut you off?
They're also. I forgot to say they also announced not really a new thing, but Dan Moore is also moving to Superman with Joshua Williamson.
Right. Yeah.
He's doing that in conjunction. He's writing Superman. He's drawing Superman and Justice League at the same time.
That is.
I don't know if I think World's Finest is going to end. I think I forget if it was ending or if they're just switching artists from now on. But either way, Dan Moore is no longer on World's Finest, which makes me sad a little bit because it was fun watching him draw. Well, I guess because the reason I love Dan Moore on World's Finest because he got to draw everyone. I got to see Dan Moore draw the fucking Metal Men. You know what I mean? And I was like, crazy. Yeah. I get wallpapers for all my obscure DC characters forever. So I hope Justice League continues that. But they'll have random arcs with like fucking The Question, and I get to see Dan Moore Question. But yeah, I'm excited for him on Superman. It'll be good.
Yeah, but overall, I'm excited for all these titles. Like it sounds like that's why I put them on. They intrigued me for the most part, and something I'm excited about. So I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna check out the first issue and see how it goes. But yeah, people, that's pretty much it. So for the folks on IG that are with us, I'm gonna cut the stream off like now, just because the stream would only give us an hour with IG. So I'm gonna cut it off, and I'm gonna add a new stream key and re-up and start it back up again. So just be aware of that. So we're gonna be back on a bit soon. So I'm gonna just end the live now on IG, and see y'all in just the next minute or two. All right. So that is done. So yeah, Seamus, bro.
For everyone on YouTube, I'm gonna start juggling now. Well, Mikey puts up a new stream key.
Bro, listen, bro. This is how we do it, man. I'm trying something out, and hopefully it's working a little bit. Can I even make another? I think I can. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. But yeah, bro. So now we're off for the comic stuff, and I personally wanted to add a little something extra because I wanted to add a documentary section. Actually, that's something I really wanted to do, because there were two documentaries that dropped throughout that dropped at San Diego Comic-Con this year, and yeah, I will do this in a second. I'm trying to multitask and like get the IG back up. Obviously, bro, we're Mike Mignola fans in here, right? Like you obviously, I know you for a fact you have like every Hellboy thing, right? So like
I do. Yeah, we're big Lobster Johnson heads over here.
Oh yeah, no, I love man. Lobster Johnson. That's my boy. That's my guy. That's my guy right there. But yeah, bro. Did you obviously hear about the upcoming documentary that's gonna be dropping? Mike Mignola drawing monsters.
Yeah, I mean, listen. I think that you're gonna make a documentary about any comic book artist. Mike Mignola might be the most interesting, given just how his style and how his entire philosophy around creating art is so interesting to me, at least from the interviews I've seen him do. So
yeah,
I'm definitely gonna be checking this out because it'll be cool to see.
I mean, here's the thing with me. I've said I've been a Hellboy fan ever since like the movies. I haven't read a lot of Hellboy. I've read like the first Seed of Destruction and some of the early stuff, but like I have not. I haven't. I've mostly studied Hellboy in terms of like how Mike Mignola's process is, how he does in terms of storytelling, and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm very excited to be checking this out. And yeah, we're back live on IG, which is dope. And yeah, bro, if you won't mind, real quick, because you wanna, because I so this is also partially like a reaction type thing too with this podcast. So you want to check out the trailer real quick?
Hold on.
All right, so yeah, so we'll just here's people was a trailer for Mike Mignola's Drawing Monsters: The Secret Origin of Hellboy documentary.
Who is Hellboy?
What's Hellboy about?
Hellboy.
Hellboy.
Hard.
Hellboy was always meant to be my thing that I get to draw. Now, I just can't seem to stop it. I had a vague idea that someday I would draw monsters for a living. Marvel was publishing so much back then. I was taking whatever jobs I could get, and I was not very good. I'm not cut out to draw superheroes. I couldn't work for Marvel anymore, and so I just left. I don't know how to draw cars, but I can draw cemeteries and spooky stuff. I thought, I want to do more stuff like that. I just needed the main character. I went in the studio, and I came out later and said, I've figured it out, and it's Hellboy. Dark Horse approached me about optioning it for a film. I thought, nobody's ever going to make a Hellboy movie. There was a part of me that said, it's going to be terrible. I'll never be able to touch Hellboy again. Del Toro had a vision for what he wanted to do. There was no shaking that.
Zero confusing design.
It's your confusing movie. Oh!
Mike hated certain things. Hated.
I said, Hellboy wouldn't do that. And he said, your Hellboy wouldn't. Mine would.
Ooh, shots fired.
That changed everything.
It's not like we altered the comic.
The Hellboy movies that he made were amazing. That, to me, is the essence of Mignola and Hellboy right there.
Nobody can do what he does.
He really touches something about the deepest, most seminal parts of the human condition.
He sings with his visuals, with a voice that you've never heard before.
I built the Hellboy machine.
And he wants to share that with the world. It all began with just guys sitting down and just working on the book. And then it became, this.
The star comes directly from Mike Mignola.
The problem with the greats is we take them for granted.
I just wanted to draw monsters for a living.
All right, people. So yeah, that was the trailer for Mike Mignola Drawing Monsters. So Seamus, after that, the one thing that because I already watched this trailer already, but one thing that really surprised me the most about it was the fact that they're not only going to obviously the origins of how Mike Mignola started with his career, how he created Hellboy, but also just the fact that they're actually going into the behind the scenes of the first Hellboy movie, and the creative differences he had with Guillermo del Toro. That's what really drew me in terms of why I'm going to watch the documentary, to see what was the beef behind it, what were the differences, what do they agree on, what do they not agree on, yeah, man, and also obviously we're talking about the impact of Hellboy after that, and I'm actually curious if we're going to talk about the David Harbour movie and if there's going to be any tea spilt. But yeah,
I doubt it. I don't think anyone wants to talk about the movie.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, man. Overall, man, what are your thoughts, man? After seeing the trailer, are you excited? Are you more excited now? Any takeaways?
Yeah, no, I'm also interested in the behind the scenes stuff for Hellboy 1. It looks like it'll be interesting. I could probably already guess what the beef was between Guillermo and Mignola, but that'll probably be seen in the movie because it's also kind of easy to see their two styles and how the Mike Mignola probably wanted the story to be a little less crazy fantastical and more of a little more grounded and matter of fact fantastical, because that's how Hellboy the comic is that Hellboy's very much here's the devil and that's it, whereas Guillermo del Toro would probably do here is the devil, the god of whatever, and you're well, that's insane, but you know what I mean. They're just their two styles are just similar yet very different. So I don't know. I'm excited to see exactly what it is though in this documentary.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is with me too. Before we move on to the next one, I want actually curious to see how was his start at Marvel was. Cause I forgot that like I didn't know that he did Marvel comics and stuff like that.
He did. I know he did Heroes for Hire for a bit. He did a Daredevil for a bit in the 80s.
Oh wow!
I mean,
okay,
yeah, he did some interesting stuff. I know he did at least like a Spider-Man issue or two as well. But
and the thing is, he said himself that like he knew that he wasn't cut out for it, and he genuinely tried. So that's gonna be interesting to see, like, you know, what his journey was getting into the industry as a professional with Marvel, then going on to do his own thing. But yeah, man. Overall, people, Seamus, thumbs up on Mike Mignola.
Yeah, I'll probably check it out.
Yeah, I figure out how it's gonna drop. I don't know if it's gonna drop on just YouTube because there's a channel for it. I don't know if it's gonna drop on YouTube or if it's gonna you have to buy it somewhere. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely check it out for sure. But the next documentary that we have here, people, is the documentary for and I think this shit is playing in the background. It just always does this shit. I hate when they do that. Is a documentary for the Legend of Kingdom Come, which is going to be the documentary about the story of how Kingdom Come, which is the legendary classic title graphic novel from Mark Waid with art by the legendary Alex Ross, and just focusing on, you know, how the book got made and all that stuff. And Seamus, I'm gonna play this trailer here as well because I haven't seen this at all. So yeah, we'll play the trailer real quick, people, and we will be giving you our thoughts on it.
I fell a great star from heaven, and I beheld and heard an angel.
I remember when The Dark Knight Returns came out. I remember when Watchmen came out. So of course I remember when Kingdom Come came out.
Kingdom Come is 4 separate issues, 48 pages apiece. It was an all-immersive kind of lifestyle for me.
It blew people away. I mean, this was the most sought-after book there was.
This was something very new, very different.
No one had seen anything like that at that scale before.
It was amazing.
I never thought from anything that people would still be talking about this book 25 years later.
There were voices and lightnings and thunderings. This was my dream.
What makes Alex Ross art stand out from the others is his approach to realism.
You think of a Superman, you're thinking of the Alex Ross Superman.
It almost looked like Renaissance paintings that we were told these were the masters. Alex was taking some of those techniques and applying them to superheroes.
1938, DC released the first issue of Action Comics, the magazine that introduced Superman.
It gives you motion, it gives you expression, all on like a little magazine that you can afford.
Comic art would abstract the human form in a way that was very inspiring to me as a young person and something I would imitate for my whole life.
Wish fulfillment. This is power fantasy. If I just had the abilities to do these things and make the world a better place, I could do it.
He makes them look like real live superheroes. They look like Olympian gods.
You gotta have the balance of the eyes perfect.
Let me tell you the story of Kingdom Come, page for page, panel for panel.
Was such a huge, epic story.
The DC fans, when he did their favorite characters, and then they came back to save the world one more time, you know, just minds blown.
I see a shot that is, I know, since it was like a pencil layout through final rendering, and then I see it on a bus ad or a poster or a shot setup, I'm going like,
oh, totally. You totally see Alex's influence.
The way material folds the shadows, the angst of the character, the history of the character. I mean, he's like, you know, Stellar Adler. He's the master class of how you approach comics. This is a true art form.
It would weigh on us the way it would be perceived, but I always had this sense of like, oh, I'm making a legend right now.
All right, Seamus, off rip, bro. Talk to me. What are your thoughts after seeing that trailer?
That looks interesting as hell. That looks really interesting. I love the focus on Alex Ross's art.
Dude, like, it's just they're just glazing. Yeah, like everybody.
Listen, I love Mark Waid. The book is great, but Alex Ross's art really is like holy shit, dude. Alex Ross interiors are like oh.
And it's funny because I mean I follow Alex Ross's IG. I've subscribed to his YouTube channel.
Oh yeah,
because he does a lot of behind the scenes stuff on his YouTube channel a lot, and like it really comes to show like Alex Ross is probably one of the greatest artists to have walked this earth. Just because again, like what Todd said, and I love Todd's on the documentary, how he took a lot of inspiration from the masters of the master painters and incorporated that into comic book artwork. Is next level, and it shows that it makes you feel like these characters are larger than life, that they're gods or icons. So I love the fact that that's one of the focuses in this documentary. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's interesting the timing of this documentary releasing just after Mark Waid wrapped up like his Kingdom Come prequel arc in World's Finest. So I think it'll be interesting to watch it after reading that because that was so fucking weird.
But it's cool to like there's a lot of creators and just people in the industry and historians and comic book shop like the guy from Golden Apple Comics was on there. You got Todd McFarlane, you had Tom Atkins, you had obviously Mark Waid himself, Alex Ross. It's again I like seeing different perspectives on this work of art on this graphic novel. It's gonna be very interesting to see. I'll get more behind the scenes stuff because. I don't want to brag, but I interviewed Mark Waid a couple years ago, and I got a little bit of his insight on Kingdom Come as a writer. So to see, now see what more getting into depth on what Alex Ross was outside of his YouTube channel, I think it's gonna be very interesting, and seeing everyone else's perspective on what they thought when the book was coming out or when the book was in development. That's gonna be really cool. So yeah, bro. I mean, it's a thumbs up for me. Kingdom Come. Legend of Kingdom Come is I'm excited. I gotta figure out when. I don't know where it's dropping. Again, like the Mignola. I don't know where this is dropping, but if you can find it, people definitely check it out. Again, also, if you haven't read it, read Kingdom Come. I have it in my hand right now. It is one of the it's one of the best books. Like if you're a comic book fan, you have to have Kingdom Come in your collection. You have to. It's amazing. So definitely check that out, man. So so we're gonna be moving on to the TV side of things, Seamus. So now we're gonna be moving to the TV portion, and I hate when Google Slides does this shit, but yeah. So we're gonna be moving on to now the TV side of things, people. TV announcements. So first things first, I wanna go. We're gonna start off with DC stuff real quick, Seamus. DC stuff. Real quick before we get into actual shows. Obviously, DC didn't really have a huge presence this year because I think James Gunn is waiting for next year when Superman gets close to Superman coming out next year in July. But he dropped a little bit of stuff for DC Studios. One thing was Creature Commandos, which is the thing that's going to be coming out. But he also revealed that DC Studios now has an official logo out, Seamus. So then this is what the official logo for DC Studios people looks like, and it is pretty much the sort of the classic like late 70s 80s like bulletin like logo and back in the comics with just that and just says Studios on it. And I immediately was like, it's just a nice reminder that James Gunn is a fan first and foremost, and he cares. That's what I felt with this. Like it's just like because like he didn't need to do this, but he did. So it's good stuff. Real quick, man, what are your thoughts on this new logo for DC Studios?
I love how the comics have the 70s logo recreation and the studios have like 80s and 90s logo recreation. I think it's just nice because I think both of those logos are my two favorite DC logos. So it's very nice to see both sides being like, oh, look. But yeah, the Bullet logo coming back is incredible. I love that shit.
Yeah, man, it's awesome. And again, it feels like when you look at this logo, like we're gonna see it again, like in an animatic form when we watch the Creature Commandos trailer. But it's just like it feels like like this is a comic book thing. Know what I mean? Like this is DC Comics, but like DC Studios. I mean, it's a reminder that, like, yeah, like these properties are based off of comic books, like, you know, and I love that. So it's man, James. You did it again. You grabbed me. You grabbed me, James Gunn, as you have been. But yeah, man. And plus, like, you know, moving away from the old DC EU thing that they had for a while, which is good. It's a reminder that, yeah, this is a new direction that they're going with. So I'm for it, man. But yeah, but that's a little small topic. But yeah, we're just gonna be moving on real quick to obviously now the only DC Universe project that we are actually seeing footage of is none other than the new animated series that's gonna be premiering on HBO Max later this year. I think it's this year, Seamus. I don't know if it's
yeah, it's like November.
Next year, yeah, is none other than Creature Commandos, people. Creature Commandos, and yeah, man, it's I think it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time. So pretty much, for people who don't know, Creature Commandos is a actual team in the comics composed of some various creatures in the DC and characters from DC Universe. You know, we got Frankenstein, we have Dr. Phosphorus, we have the Bride, who is the Bride of Frankenstein, and I'm forgetting the other two, Seamus, and Weasel. Obviously, Weasel we saw from the Suicide Squad show. And I'm forgetting the other two. I know the robot, the soldier robot, and then
Commander Robot or whatever.
Yeah, Commander Robot, and yeah, the other one.
And Shape of Water.
Shape of Water. Yep. But yeah, I remember we talked about this last year when the DC Studios slate was announced. Again, I'm excited for it. I mean, obviously, like it's crazy that, like, the first thing we're gonna get from the DC Universe is Creature Commandos. Again, that's how you know it's a deep cut. That's you know James Gunn is a fan of these characters. Know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, it's Nina Mazursky from she was in that Agents of Shade book.
Okay, I gotcha.
And then Sean Gunn is playing both Weasel and GI Robot.
GI Robot. There we go. But yeah, people. But pretty much, just quick synopsis for people that don't know about Creature Commandos. Follows a group of military superhumans composed by a human leader, a werewolf, a vampire, Frankenstein monster, and a gorgon. So it's pretty much just like Rick Flag Sr., who's gonna be played by Frank Grillo, and a bunch of these other characters. And real quick, I just want to tape because I found this out while I was doing prep for this, that James Gunn also announced that the Suicide Squad the Suicide Squad, which came out a few years ago, that was a part of the DCEU, and which James Gunn's debuted to DC Universe as a director, is not canon to the new DC Universe. So, which is interesting because some of those characters are in here. Some of those characters are in the new DCU. So,
yeah, I mean, it makes sense because, there's just so much. Like, I think what he's gonna do, that sneaky little thing where it's like, it's not canon, but I'm still gonna reference the events like they did happen, but they might not have happened the same way that you saw them. You know what I mean? Because he's like, Peacemaker season 1 isn't canon to Peacemaker season 2, and I'm like, okay, I just assume that means that you're just gonna be like, oh, the Justice League didn't show up. You know what I mean? And that's why it's not canon. Everything else happened, but you know.
But yeah, we'll off rip, bro. Because let's watch it. Because I have not seen this, so we'll play it. So we'll play it right now. All right. So yep, here we are.
General Flag. This is Belle Reeve. For over 50 years, only those at the uppermost levels are aware of its existence.
I thought Congress put a stop to all Task Force X activities.
Congress said you can't use human prisoners. These assholes aren't human.
There we go.
You smiling?
Yes.
Sarcastically?
Mm-hmm.
He's pissing!
is your new task force.
It's been oh so long since G.I. Robot has sent Nazis back to hell.
Let's call it Task Force M. M for Monster. Also known as...
All right. That looks fun. That looks like a lot of fun. Yeah, man, this reminds me of this regular like swashbuckling like adventure team like cartoons we grew up watching. That's what it feels like to me. This belongs on like Adult Swim. No, I mean. Hold on, Seamus. Hold on. You're muted for a second.
I said, I feel like this is a good start for James Gunn because this is like what he's known best for. You know what I mean? Taking a weird ass team, they're a little dysfunctional and just making them like work and be popular. Yeah, so it makes sense why he's just like, all right, let's do it again. Third time's the charm.
And see, I'm just breaking it down real quick. Non-human internment division, and love the fact that like this is referred to as Task Force M. Like that's hilarious.
Yeah, that's funny.
But yeah, just to go through the cast real quick. So we have Anya Shalatra apparently is in this as Cersei. Viola Davis reprising her role again as Amanda Waller. Sean Gunn, like what Seamus says, is playing G.I. Robot and Weasel. We have Alan Tudyk playing Dr. Phosphorus. We have Eric Frankenstein. I'm sorry, David Harbour playing Eric Frankenstein. Indira Varma playing Bride of Frankenstein. Frank Grillo, who's playing Rick Flag Sr. And I'm trying to find the one for Nina Mazursky. And Zoe Chow as Nina Mazursky. And yeah, people, I mean, this looks really, it looks fun. And knowing, the initiative that James Gunn has with DC Studios, the characters that will be playing, the actors that have been voicing these characters will be playing them in live action as well as voicing them in any game adaptations too. So it's cool, man. This looks like a lot of fun. And it's like it's a typical James Gunn humor that we all like love. So, and I mean, I'm loving the designs for the characters. See the Rick Flag Sr. and Amanda Waller. Got the Bride over here. Yeah, man, it looks really fun. It's typical James Gunn stuff, but in animated form, which is a good time. So yeah. But yeah, man. Any other thoughts before we move on? Because I have nothing else.
Just looks fun.
Just looks fun, man. And Chris confirms, yeah, it does look fun. But yeah, all right, people. Without further ado, next topic that we're gonna be talking about, next thing that I'm very excited about. But yeah, Seamus, real quick, bro. Yeah, so we obviously we love the Batman up in here. We love Matt Reeves, the Batman. Personally, probably my favorite Batman movie of all time. For me personally, is I really enjoyed that film. Love Robert Pattinson as Batman. Love Zoe Kravitz, Selena Kyle, but most importantly, I love Colin Farrell as the Penguin. He was definitely a standout to me in that film, and obviously he is going to be getting a spinoff as well. Yeah, so pretty much during San Diego Comic-Con they had a panel as well as a new trailer for the Penguin. Unfortunately, I did not get a chance to watch the panel, but obviously, Seamus, we knew about this. We watched the teaser, obviously, on our own time. What offer it, bro? What are your immediate thoughts before we react to this trailer real quick, bro?
I am excited for it. I like it, but I also heavily dislike the fact that Warner Bros. Denied both the Matt Reeves other pitches for TV shows. Because I like the Penguin. Like I said, I like Colin Farrell's Penguin, but I think him being a side character in a show that adapts Gotham Central and Gotham Year One, that would have been so good.
Yeah,
that would have been so good. But I hope this is still somewhat in a similar vein. It looks good from all the trailers. I'm sure I'll enjoy it, but I saw that report of those other shows that were pitched, and I was like, "Fuck." Or like that Arkham Asylum show.
Yeah, granted. The Arkham Asylum show would have been hard. Yeah. I was actually really hoping that show came through, and like that GCPD show that also got axed as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, listen, for people that haven't watched the Batman, if you haven't, stop watching this and go watch the Batman. Literally, like right when we left off, Falcone, spoilers, but Falcone died and was killed by the Riddler, and now it was up to Oswald or Oz to take up the mantle. Now that the Kingpin of Gotham has been killed, so now the playing field is open. And if you haven't watched the teaser for it, Falcone's daughter gets involved. Sal Maroni is involved, played by Clancy Brown. And yes, it's pretty much just Oswald just rising up in the ranks to become, the character of the Penguin that we all know and love. But obviously, Matt Reeves is more grounded version of that. So, listen, man, I'm excited, bro. We're gonna play this trailer and we're gonna talk more about it afterwards. So, yeah, people. Without further ado, the trailer for the Penguin.
Hi, I'm Colin Farrell. Check out the trailer for my new series, Penguin.
Trust me, it's just the beginning. Come on. Help me out.
Life is just a dream.
You promised me, Oswald.
I know.
I deserve a better life.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
Well, they set up for the honest man to succeed. That should be the American dream right there.
Boy, Renzi Police.
Happy ending.
Let's go.
But that ain't the way the world works. America's a hustle. Not that I'm complaining.
Penguin, you waltzing in here like you mean something. We're in the middle of a gang.
Carmine Falcone's dead.
If we don't protect what's ours, we just look weak. The streets are talking again. They know there's only one man big enough to run this city.
Ah, do you remember Carmine's door? Oh, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Sophia, I thought you was still at
Arkham?
She was in Arkham?
No. I've been rehabilitated. You're playing a dangerous game with this family on. You think I want Sophia Falcone knocking on my door?
She is the hangman.
What is it you're really after, Oz?
Gonna tear down the empire from the inside out.
Whoever controls the drug business controls the streets.
I'll be running the whole damn trade.
I got ambition. I can help you. Hey! Feel alive, Vic, huh?
Wait,
feel the heart beating?
The city's need to be yours, sweetheart. What are you gonna do to get it?
Trust me. It's just the beginning.
All right, bro. Talk to me, bro. What do you think?
That looks sick as hell.
It's so hard.
It looks so good.
Godfather type shit. Like that's what I was
thinking. And I know that it's gonna be so exciting to not see really any comic book characters except weird Italian names that me and you are gonna freak out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like we're gonna be sitting there, everyone else is gonna be like, "Where's the Two-Face? Where's we?" And they're not gonna be there, but we're gonna fucking blow our loads when we hear the name Zuko or Sionis or like, you know what I mean? And we're gonna be like, "Oh my god!" So I think it's gonna be like, if we get any kind of like references like that, it's gonna be like those, where it's gonna be like, "Oh look, Roman Sionis. Oh cool."
Honestly, and then here's the thing with me too. Like, okay, when he refer, okay, I kind of freaked out a little bit, but then I kind of like, oh my god, is he actually playing what I think he's playing? And then like I checked the actual like cast list, and I was like, damn, okay. But yeah, my boy Renzi Feliz, who people don't know, he was Alex Wilder in the Wild Runaways show, that came out like a long while ago now, which I'm a fan of that show. Who is the protege that that Oz takes under his wing? I heard him say Vic, and I was like, is he playing Victor Zsasz? Holy shit, like a young Victor Zsasz? Like, that'd be kind of crazy.
Victor Zsasz would be cool, yeah.
But nah, it just says on IMDb Victor Aguilar, but which could also just be a front name. I'm hoping he's Zsasz. That'd be really cool. But yeah, man, I'm loving the fact that like we're actually going through more of the like, we got a teaser of like the Gotham underbelly with the Batman, and now we're actually going to be going into that now. The power struggle now that Falcone is dead, but now his daughter Sophia Falcone is played by the very talented Kristen Milioti. That's gonna be really interesting to see her conflict with now Oz trying to go up the ranks, but now she's trying to take her father's place. And the fact, and the thing is, like, you were talking about the whole Arkham show, like this, she's our gateway to Arkham now because she was committed to Arkham. That's actually a very interesting angle. And she was quote unquote rehabilitated. So
well, yeah, because she was the villain in Dark Victory. In the sequel to Long Halloween. Yeah. She was the Hangman. She her whole thing was that's why I think Two-Face might show up, because her whole thing in Dark Victory was that she was killing notable police officers who would associate with Harvey Dent, and that was like her whole MO.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I haven't read Dark Victory. I read Long Halloween, but not Dark Victory. But that's actually a really cool angle. Do you think they're gonna do some Hangman stuff in here too, or maybe acknowledge that?
Yeah. I mean, I could definitely see them doing a little Harvey Dent tease for like an episode. You know what I mean? Like he just shows up and is like, I don't know what's going on. Why is all these people dying near me? You know.
Well, real quick, bro, on IG, real quick. My girl Chris, she was like, when you see the whole Blow Our Loads comment with all like all the fan stuff, she's laughing about that stuff. That she's dying about that comment. She said it does look good though. I still need to watch the movie though. Okay, Chris, you have to talk after this. Like right after I'm done, I'm giving you a call because that's unacceptable. And my boy Kevin, he's like, yeah, the Runaways was great. The Runaways was underrated. I honestly thought it was really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, so far this looks dope. I mean, it's just simple, just Oswald running through the ranks. I love the power struggle that's going on in here. Seeing Clancy Brown as Maroni is also gonna be really cool to see his interpretation. Was this gentleman? Was he in the Batman?
Yeah, he was the
That's why he looks familiar. Like he was.
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't. Okay, he's a new character. All right, but yeah, man. I'm and also just
because he's what the fuck? Michael Kelly. He I think he's playing one of like the crime boss, like one of the capos.
Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, man. Interesting to see what's going on there. I'm like looking real quick just to see like the cast members. Oh yeah, Carmen Ejogo's playing Eve Carlo. I don't know if that's a new character or if she's in the comics. I don't know.
I'm excited to see who Mark Strong is playing because they haven't talked about who he's playing.
That's true. I heard he was in the show, and they're not. If he's Zaz, bro, I might cry.
Mark Strong Zaz would feed families, man.
That would feed families, man.
I know everyone's always trying to jump to Mr. Freeze immediately for some reason. But like if I'm being honest,
I also wouldn't be fine if he was Mr. Freeze too. That'd be also be dope.
I think a Mark Strong Zaz would be much better fit for this universe than a Mr. Freeze at this point.
Yeah, Carmen Ejogo's playing like pretty much like Penguin's girl essentially. Which again, how did Penguin get a girl as bad as that? That makes no sense. Yeah, I mean, also I'm looking at the cast. Theo Rossi, who was Shades in Luke Cage, is in this too. I'm curious on who he's gonna play, but yeah, man. I mean, I have nothing else to say. I'm very excited. I mean, this is one of the most anticipated shows of the year is the Penguin. Also the fact that they're doing the whole mom thing, which again I thought was really well addressed in Gotham with Robin Lord Taylor's version of the Penguin, relationship with his mother. So yeah, but it's But yeah, man, I'm excited. I mean, that just makes me want to rewatch the Batman again, like for like the 12th time. So yeah, man. So Seamus, thumbs up, thumbs down. You're for it?
I'm there day one. I'm there for any Batman content.
Yeah, I'll get a Max subscription to watch this shit. I mean, I'll actually get a Max. All right, people. So moving on. So the next thing we're gonna talk about, real quick, is obviously Seamus. We did a little review, I think last week. A little over last week of a show that a little underground show that that's not that popular, known as The Boys. And yeah, man. So the boys cast had their panel today during San Diego Comic-Con, and they talked a lot about a bunch of stuff. Mostly talked about like the stuff that happened in the season, the past season 4 that just happened. Also talked about Gen V season 2 Now that's going to be coming out next year as well, and also the thoughts and dynamics of that. But mostly talking about how the big news for season 5 of The Boys, Jensen Ackles is returning as a series regular for The Boys, playing none other than returning as Soldier Boy, which is going to be really dope to see him coming back because obviously he was teased at the end of The Boys season 4 in the post-credit scene. But obviously the big news, Seamus, is that we're going to be getting a spin-off, a prequel spin-off of The Boys series titled Vought Rising, that's going to be focusing on, that's going to be set in the 1950s, a period piece focusing on the main characters are going to be Soldier Boy and the return of Aya Cash as Stormfront, or in this case, the superhero that she was before she was Stormfront.
Liberty.
So, what are your thoughts on? Yeah, Liberty, right? Like Liberty, I think it was something like that.
Yep.
Seamus, what are your thoughts on this news for The Boys, the season 5 stuff, Gen V season 2, and this new spinoff that we're going to be getting?
This is it for me. This has got to be it. I like The Boys.
Yeah.
This has got to be it. This is like if they do one more, it's going to become like they're going to become a parody of themselves. Like I listen. You got one more season of The Boys left. You got at most one more season of Gen V left. Do only one season of the spinoff, and then let's just stop doing The Boys stuff because I think we're good. You know what I mean? Because I feel like they're gonna start saturating the market with all this Boys content, and I'm gonna be like, all right, this is a show that is a parody. You can't do 8 seasons and 40 spinoffs of a parody. Because at a point, it gets to the point where you're like, all right, I get it, you know? So I'm gonna watch it, but if I'm on the edge right now for appreciating how much Boys stuff I'm getting versus hating it. So I hope they know when to quit while they're ahead instead of like, you know, milking this like they joke about milking the MCU and all their, you know what I mean, stuff where they're like, ooh, Tech Knight 4, the Tech Knight, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We are rapidly approaching that point in The Boys, so I hope they know when to quit.
That's true. I mean, I also hope they know. That's the thing. I hope that they don't oversaturate too much. I'm just fine with The Boys ending at 5, another season of Gen V, maybe season 3. Possibly, and then just this one sequel, this one spin-off being a limited series, and that's it. But granted, like I'm very curious about this because again, I love period pieces. Very curious in seeing like how Vought, like focus on how Vought started, because it's gonna be focused on like Vought in its early years, its early diabolical years as a Nazi, as a low-key Nazi front. So yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. And then listen, more Boys for me. I'm good, but again, what you said, I don't want too much. So yeah. There's that. But other than that, I have nothing else to say, bro. I'm excited to get more Boys. I'm excited to see more season 5, more Gen V, which again comes out next year. Which again I want that now because Gen V was one of my favorite shows of last year. I'm Vought Rising. I'm hoping to see more of that in the works and seeing more announcements. So yeah, thumbs up for me. That's thumbs up me 100%. But yeah, Seamus. Next topic, bro. Is this is mostly for me, and I believe you watched it as well. But you know me, bro. I'm a big Percy Jackson fan, and the Percy Jackson cast came back through the San Diego Comic-Con. Talk more about a little bit more about Percy Jackson season 2, and mostly I was watching the panel while I was setting up, so I didn't have a chance to finish it. But the big takeaway that I came from it that we got a new casting announcement for Percy Jackson. And mostly them for people that don't know, we got the casting for one of the most essential characters in the books, known as Tyson, who is the half Cyclops, half brother of Percy, and he is going to be played by, I think his name is Daniel Demir. I think his name is, and he will be taking on the role of Tyson in Percy Jackson season 2, which will likely be released next year. But Seamus, what are your thoughts, man? Have you watched Percy Jackson? I don't know if we talked about it.
We didn't talk about it. I did. Thought it was all right. I didn't think it was particularly And like it wasn't insanely good. It wasn't insanely bad. It felt like a good first season.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big fan of the books, and watching it was kind of like my expectations were like here, and it just got to like right here where I was like, some of it was a little rough, and I was like, all right, I thought you guys would have hammered this stuff out a little more before dropping this, but it is what it is. I'll probably check out season 2. But if season 2 is at the same point where I'm still like, then I might not continue it. I might just reread the books instead. But yeah, I'm excited. Tyson's my boy, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, man. I have the exact opposite reaction. I really loved the series a lot because Percy Jackson is like my favorite book series of all time. It's like one of the only books I read growing up that actually grabbed my attention that I wasn't forced to read in school. So I love that series. Love these characters. I thought that this was the adaptation that we deserved because we got those. We got that Chris Columbus first movie, which was all right, and then we got the second movie, which was trash. But I thought this was great. I thought Walker Scobell was perfect. I thought the casting was great. People would shout out Annabeth eat shit because she was perfect. As Annabeth, I would defend her to the day I die. She was amazing. The cast was phenomenal. Like R.I.P. to Lance Riddick because he was a great Zeus, and it sucks we'll never see that again. That was great. Adam Copeland, Edge as Ares was awesome. Everything about the show was great to me. It was one of my favorite shows last year.
Yeah, I think the casting was good. I just have a problem with like some of the writing. I was a little like, okay, guys.
For me, it wasn't the writing; it was the pacing. I thought the pacing was too quick. Know what I mean? Like, the episodes went by so fast. I wanted them to be longer, but it's on Disney Plus, and Disney Plus be doing Disney Plus shit, so that's why. But yeah, the fact that we're getting Tyson, that's great. I mean, Tyson's my guy. That's one of my favorite characters in the series. I got a little quote from the actor. It's from the thing that said, Daniel's enthusiasm and talent bring a whole new dimension to Tyson, and it's going to be incredible to see him in the second season. I can't wait for him. For you guys to see him and welcome him to the Percy Jackson universe. Demir added, I can't wait to bring Tyson to life and share this journey with you all. So pretty much like it's just genuine excitement for it. It's excitement for Tyson being in the show. So yeah, that's all I gotta say. I'm hype. I'm ready for season 2. I had to finish the panel though because I want to hear more of their thoughts. But again, they were just recounting experiences on the first season, and they're excited for the new one. So yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Any more thoughts on this, Seamus, before we move on to the last topic?
I'm good, man.
Yeah, people. So yeah, the last topic we got before we move on to the movie section is people that don't know. And if you haven't subscribed to us on YouTube, subscribe to us on YouTube, like please, because we make good content. We make good content on this channel. But Seamus, we are. What is one of our favorite comic books of all time? Seamus, what are our favorite comic books of all time?
What is one? What ours?
Yeah. Me and you both share. What?
Are you surprising me with a Sunstone adaptation? Are we getting it?
Low key, if we got a Sunstone adaptation, the world isn't ready for that. But nah, man, I am talking about a little book that called Invincible. That we love. That we obviously love. Me. If people that don't know, been rocking with us in Students of Shield, that was one of our first books we did on Students of Shield. It's my favorite book of all time. I love Invincible a lot. And again, obviously, there's an Amazon Prime television show that has been a huge success. Just finished the second season, and again, we have to do a review for the second season because we didn't get a chance to do it and talk about it. But yeah, man, we got a little bit of a teaser for just a little poster for Invincible season 3, and yeah, people. So I'm gonna be sharing. I didn't add to the slide, so it's gonna be a separate screen share. So I'm gonna be sharing that right now. But yeah, people, we got the poster for Invincible season 3 just dropped, and it looks like we're gonna be getting a familiar costume, Seamus. I don't know about you, but looks like Mark is going a little bit. Mark's getting a little bit. Know what I mean? Yeah, we got the reveal of the iconic black and blue suit from the comic, and which we're gonna be going to more Invincible territory, Invincible War territory.
We're getting close.
Bro. What are your thoughts, bro, on this new look from Mark on so far?
You know, I'm a yellow and blue defender till the day I die.
Of course,
But
of course.
let it be known, I think blue and black is like right here for me.
Mhm.
I still
is-
think it's
yeah.
sick as fuck, dude.
It looks hard.
I'm
It looks
excited. It looks like he's fighting what's his name from that fucking. Oh, why am I blanking on his name? That one random dude he fucking fights in that. I forget his name, but it's like fuck. I don't know why. I'm blanking.
Metroplex.
Yes. I was saying something plex in my head, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah, the I forgot about him too, so I gotta go back and like, reread that arc. So, but yeah, like you're gonna be fighting some Metroplex in there, and that's gonna be cool.
But I'm excited. I'm excited for the new season announcement too.
I mean, obviously they just dropped a poster, and obviously it's in development, and obviously I think they confirmed as well that we're gonna be getting a season 4 as well. So
yeah, they did.
So yeah, that's gonna be good. But yeah, man, from where we left off last season and from here, I do you think they're gonna be going Invincible War straight up in this season, or are we gonna ask be season 4 thing? Know what I mean? I
could see.
I think they have to do it in this season because, like, we don't know how many seasons we're gonna be getting of this. Know what I mean?
I think they could easily bang it out at the end of the season as the finale.
But yeah, man, I'm very excited. And again, they did some alterations. Like they know like the gauntlets are different, and all that. But yeah, man, I'm loving that. You know, it's exactly like how it was, like right off the page of the comic, and it's gonna be dope. I'm very, very, very excited for it. But yeah, bro, that's pretty much it with all the TV show stuff. Again, I'm worried that IG is gonna cut us off again, so I'm gonna have to end the stream again here. But we're gonna be moving on, people, to the movie stuff. Just give me a second, people at IG. Thanks again for joining us. We appreciate it. I'm gonna just turn off the stream again, just because I think they're about to cut us off again in a second. But yeah, just be all right. I'm gonna end the stream here. I'm gonna end the stream real quick, and I'll add y'all back on. I promise it's gonna be real quick. Just give me a few minutes. But we'll catch y'all later in a second. But yeah, Seamus. So now we're going on to the movie stuff real quick. We gotta we know we're missing somebody. Now I mean we're missing someone to be part of the movie segment. I mean, because she didn't want to join us.
She didn't give a fuck about anything else.
Exactly, bro.
That's what I should have done tonight. I should have just watched you talk by yourself for 2 hours straight about this shit. And I came here with somebody.
But yeah, we're gonna tag in our other co-host Rebecca, because she wanted to only join in on the movie stuff. But yeah, so we're just gonna wait for her to come through real quick before we start. And while I do, I'm gonna set up, the IG stream again, so people can join us back in on the IG side. But yeah, Seamus, we've been getting a good amount of movie news lately when it comes to some of the stuff. Oh wait, on second. Speak of the devil, Rebecca is here. Let me add her on real quick. Let me add her on. Rebecca.
Hey.
Hi.
I hope you enjoyed 2 hours without me looking bored in the corner.
Oh man.
Don't worry. They got me looking bored in the corner for an hour, so I made up for it.
But yeah, Rebecca, thanks for joining us as always. We appreciate you. I appreciate you. And obviously we're gonna get down to more of the nitty-gritty stuff with the movies. Again, I am going to just real quick just get the stream key back up for the new stream key so people can join us again on Instagram. Just getting it to go live real quick. Just give me 1 second. I'm just waiting for the preview to pop up because IGB going on with the fuckery. It's kind of bullshit. Okay, there we go. So let's go live right now. And okay, so we're back on IG. So yeah, so now just to move on to now the movie segment. And we got a couple of movies that dropped on here. But obviously it's nice that Rebecca and now you and Seamus are both on, because I know for a fact that Seamus obviously again rewind the tape. We talked about some Hellboy with a documentary. And Seamus is a big fan of the comics and the movies. Rebecca is a huge Del Toro Hellboy fan. And for people that don't know, I'm gonna laugh. I know we're gonna show on this for a little bit. But they're making a new Hellboy adaptation coming out from Millennium Productions, and it's gonna be and Mike Mignola is more on the helm. But we're talking about, you know, a little. Honestly, it's an indie film. No, I mean, I was gonna lie. I was gonna make it as a joke, but it actually is an indie film. For a Hellboy, Hellboy the Crooked Man, which we kind of briefly talked about in an After Dark when the movie was in production. But yeah, Hellboy the Crooked Man, people, is the latest Hellboy film that's gonna be coming out. It's just coming soon. I'm assuming. Oh shoot! I'm assuming it's coming out like this week, but apparently not. I don't know, but what is going on? This freaking thing is bugging out. Oh yeah, because I'm not even streaming. But yeah, people, Seamus, Rebecca, before I play the trailer and stuff, because I haven't seen this yet. Any thoughts on this new Hellboy that's going to be dropping? Any thoughts at all?
Did they put out a new trailer since the last teaser? Is this the same one?
They put out a new. They had a panel and a new trailer for Comic-Con. Yep.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen this one then.
All right. Because you want to just go into the trailer before we talk about it?
Go ahead. I think that's best.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so we'll just play the new trailer for Hellboy the Crooked Man, people.
There's something going on here. I need to understand it. Like you do.
That's exactly why you shouldn't be here.
You might say a demonic entity falls under our expertise.
Quite nasty.
Crooked Man's waiting on you.
That's interesting.
Oh, you didn't want me to squash?
No, squashing's good.
I have tales about him all my life. Most just called him the Crooked Man.
I thought Big Red wasn't scared of anything.
Well, I know something you're afraid of.
You hear something?
Your road ends in the dark like mine. Let's just keep on coming.
It ain't even really begun.
Come on, Snake, let's rattle.
Let not your horns be troubled.
By way they know not.
I will make the darkness light and the crooked things straight. Doubt the power of prayer, son?
Just in case.
All right, so off rip, people. What do y'all think of this this trailer for Hellboy the Crooked Man?
I mean, that looks like the littest Tubi watch we're ever gonna do. That I like
so right.
Not even like an insult. That looks like such like a it looks like a fun low budget movie that I'm probably gonna watch and be like, that was fun.
Yeah, the thing is, it's an indie film. I'm not going to be too harsh on it because they're not working with like the same budget as the other movie series. Well, I say series, 2 movies and an additional movie nobody watched. I actually think this trailer is better than the teaser they put out. I think this has I think it has some potential for some like, you know, more horror-y, like body horror type stuff in here that could be interesting. I like we said. This is an indie film, low budget. The effects don't look great, but I'm not going to hold that against them if they're not working with a ton, you know? It feels like something that would have come out like 10 years ago as a fan film.
Yeah, and the thing is with me, because I watched the entire panel for this a couple hours ago, and I was telling Seamus as well, like just in our talks, but it does seem like, you know, yeah, this film looks very low budget, very indie, but and the thing is, like, when I was listening to Mike Mignola, who is writing the film, who's co-writing the film, and Brian Taylor, who is directing, who again, Brian Taylor did, I know Seamus, I don't like saying this, but he did Crank, Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, you know, they were talking about how, yeah, like, you know, Hellboy is pretty much, even though Hellboy has been around for 30 years, it's pretty much an underground indie comic. So they wanted to have that feel where it's like, yeah, it does feel a little indie and it feels a little homemade. Know what I mean? And I get that idea. But the fact that they wanted to mostly, make a Hellboy horror film, which again, that's one thing that's going for me, is I love that it's a Hellboy horror film. Know what I mean? That and the fact that, you know, they wanted to pretty much take like be as accurate to the comic book as possible, to the point where, like, they're even taking they treated the comic book as a kind of like storyboard, and they're actually like taking shots from the comic and putting it in film, like trying to make it like aesthetically, like visually, aesthetically, cinematography, like you're experiencing the comic book, like you're reading the comic book. But the thing is, like, that's great. Like, I love that they're that dedicated to making it to have that intention with the movie. I think is really dope, and I like the spirit of that. Again, obviously it's Jack Kesey, who people who don't know was Black Tom Cassidy in Deadpool 2, and was in The Strain. And hearing his passion for the character, and then obviously, you know, and hearing Adeline Rudolph, who's playing Bobby Joe Song, who is a young BPRD member in this, is gonna be really interesting to see. I mean, it's just I'm digging it. I mean, yeah, it's very low budget, but again, like just hearing the panel and just hearing their thoughts on the movie and like what they envision for it, and how Mike Mignola said this is like he wanted to do Crooked Man because it's his favorite story that he's written in the Hellboy universe. I mean, I'm here for it, and the lore. So I think that the lore doing, like, you know, how it's set in like 1950s Appalachia, and the Appalachian lore involved, I think is really interesting. I mean, I think I'm gonna watch it for sure. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it in theaters, but I'm gonna watch it.
Like Seamus says, we'll watch it when it lands on Tubi.
Yup.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, also I'm looking at the cast too. Like, Joseph Marcel is the Reverend, and people who don't know Joseph Marcel is he's Jeffrey in Fresh Prince. So now I have to watch this movie. But yeah, and mostly just for the synopsis again, it's just, you know, it's set in 1950s Appalachia with involving, you know, the Crooked Man Appalachian lore, and it's pretty much set on a younger Hellboy, because Hellboy ages in dog years, so there's a younger Hellboy that we're focusing on, and him partnering up with a young BPRD member, Bobby Joe, and them just experiencing the horror of the Appalachia with Little Crooked Man together. Again, it's a cool concept. I mean, it's cool, and I haven't read, and this makes me want to read the comic as well. And Seamus, I think you've read the comic, so any thoughts on it before we?
I think it captures the vibe of the comic perfectly, because the comic is more of like a horror mystery than it is like a full, you know what I mean, Hellboy action movie. So I think it's a good pick for doing a low budget Hellboy movie.
Yeah, for sure. And my boy Kevin on IG, he's saying Evil Dead vibes. He get a lot of Evil Dead vibes from it. I agree, especially when it comes to, like, you know, the very low key indie factor of it all, like the homemade factor. Yeah, it's kind of I get some Evil Dead vibes from it.
Yeah, I definitely got that too. Well. There's like the hand coming up and the fingers are all like cracking and all that.
Exactly. And yeah, I mean, so overall, I'm actually, like, after watching this new trailer and liking it, even though there are shots with Hellboy where, of course, with the makeup, he doesn't look right, like, especially here, it's like, yeesh. But I'm looking forward to. I'm intrigued by it now, and I feel we're listening to the panel. I can hear the love that they're putting into it, even though it is a bit cheap, but.
Yeah.
I'm very curious.
Do you think they're going to make any jokes about how Hellboy's only supposed to be around like 10 years old?
Yeah, I think so.
In the 50s, he's supposed to be like 10 to 15 years old.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so we're gonna. So they didn't mention the whole dog ear aging thing, so I think they're gonna be mentioning that. But yeah, and also the fact that like they said, Mike Mignola said there is a shot in this trailer that they took from the comic that genuinely disturbed them while watching the dailies because of the way it was shot and the way it was performed. So I'm very curious to see like there's gonna be some. I'm looking forward to the horror in this. So we'll see. Overall, thumbs up. For me, it's like a kind of like a middle. No, I mean it's a middle for me. Like I'm intrigued by it, but again, low expectations with it. But yeah, any more thoughts before we move on to the next movie? Nope. All right, so moving on, people. So the next movie that we're gonna be talking about, no trailer for it because I didn't want to rehash it. But yeah, Alien Romulus, which is the next Alien film in the Aliens franchise, which for me is a highlight to me because again, people know me as a person. I don't really like the Aliens movies because they scare the shit out of me. I never really watched only Aliens versus Predator because I'm a huge Predators fan because they kill xenomorphs. So, but the one thing for me that is the draw for why I'm definitely be watching this, because I did watch Prometheus, I watched Alien Covenant, but the main grab for me is the fact that it is Fede Alvarez directing this, and people that don't know, Fede Alvarez directed the 2013 Evil Dead reboot as well as the Don't Breathe films, which I think are great. And yeah, but Rebecca and Seamus are more experts on the Aliens franchise than myself. What are your thoughts on Alien Romulus? And they dropped a trailer for this as well, and I didn't put it on here, but it looked dope. So what are your thoughts on this, on Alien Romulus coming out?
I am gonna shit myself if I see this in theaters because this looks so good and so scary.
Yeah.
Like I saw that new trailer you were talking about. It was in IMAX right before the Deadpool and Wolverine when I saw it on Friday, and that I left the theater and I immediately ordered tickets for like opening weekend in IMAX because I'm like it looks so fucking good.
I'm sorry, we were just talking about this earlier, and I'm just thinking, imagine seeing this movie in 4D.
Oh my god, 4D, and they have some like little animatronic thing do like that on your neck, and it freaks you out.
They have a thing where it's like bugs crawling you or something.
Oh
like
yeah.
That.
It's like those memes going around where like people were seeing like the Twisters movie in 4X. Like, what if they saw the Alien Romulus in 4X? That'd be nuts.
Yeah,
that'd be crazy.
But I will say though, maybe avoid the most recent trailer just because I didn't feel like I saw anything new that made me want to go see the movie more. I feel like I just saw stuff that I was like, oh, I kind of wish I saw that in the movie instead of in a random trailer before Deadpool and Wolverine. But it looked good. It looked really good. I'm very excited for it.
Yeah, I like that they wanted to do a lot of practical effects for this too.
Practical effects.
Yeah,
and
that was the big highlight for me. Is like going back to practical because then.
It was very interesting to see that he also talked about them filming chronologically too.
Oh yeah,
so like when someone died, they were like, "All right, bye."
Yep. And he did assure like because I saw clips from the panel that they had for SDCC. Yeah, the whole chronological thing that was really interesting. The practical stuff because again, Fede Alvarez has been bringing back practical stuff ever since Evil Dead 2013, and then also with Don't Breathe and stuff like that. So that's great. You see the animatronic face cover that they had?
Yeah,
walking around in the panel, it was creepy as shit. I did not like that at all. Was walking around and crap. But
didn't they give everyone facehugger masks to take home?
Yep,
I think so. But most importantly, he did assure that a lot of characters are gonna die in this. So again, the fact that chronologically, yeah, when Seamus said, when they died, all right, bye. Thanks for joining us. See you in the press tour. But yeah.
I'm expecting no one to survive it. I'm expecting the entire cast to just die.
More than two. That's my guess.
But yeah, the synopsis for it real quick is on IMDb. While scavenging the deep ends of the relic space station, a group of young space colonizers come face to face with the most terrifying life form in the universe. Yeah, so pretty much it's just Alien, but with some young adult ruffians. I'm getting to know good, being in the wrong place, being in the wrong ship at the wrong time. Huh? Yeah, so it's gonna be a good time. I need to see this with somebody because again, I literally have a personal fear of Xenomorph. I don't like face huggers, chest bursters, none of that shit. But
wait, did you say you have or haven't seen Alien versus Predator?
I have seen Alien vs. Predator. That was the first movie I saw as a kid where I got exposed to the xenomorphs, and I was like, I'm never watching Aliens movies ever because I'm just like, nope. I saw a chest burster burst out someone's chest when I was 5 years old, and I was like, nope, not for me. But I liked Alien vs. Predator because I became a huge Predator fan because they kill xenomorphs, and I hate xenomorphs, so it works out. But yeah, people, this actually comes out actually like this week, this week or next week. Alien, I think August 9th.
It says August 16th right on your posters.
It does. August 16th. So yeah, it is. I'm definitely be checking it out for sure.
It's like 2 weeks away, I think.
2 weeks away. Real quick on IG, real quick. Shout out to my cousin Peaches. He said thoughts on the new Deadpool. Peaches, I did not watch. I'm seeing Deadpool and Wolverine tomorrow, as well as Rebecca. But Seamus has seen it. But do you want to give like brief, a really quick, non-spoiler thoughts, Seamus, real quick?
Just watch the podcast we do on Wednesday.
Podcast we do on Wednesday. If you don't want to watch the podcast on Wednesday and know whether to see it before you watch the podcast, so that way you can watch the spoiler section of the podcast we do on Wednesday. Go watch it. It's fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, just podcast on Wednesday. That's all we can say. Next one movie that we're gonna be talking about is again going back to Transformers because Rebecca, we talked about Daniel Warren Johnson winning some awards for Transformers for the Eisners, which again is deserved. But yeah, Transformers 1, people. Transformers 1 is the new animated film in the Transformers world, starring Chris Hemsworth as, and this is a prequel, so Chris Hemsworth as Orion Pax, Brian Tyree Henry, aka Paperboy, all about that Paperboy, playing I think his name Droid D13, who's Megatron, right? King Michael Key as Bumblebee, and all that. I didn't put the trailer up because I know they dropped a second trailer, and I watched it and I really enjoyed it. I remember the first trailer, but yeah, any thoughts, Rebecca? You can start off because you're the Transformers girly, so you can go off.
I don't really have too many thoughts. I think this looks like it's going to be a cute, fun family watch. To me, this is kind of in the same vein as the Ninja Turtles movie that came out last year, though. I think I don't like the style in this as much as I do that movie, but I think it's going to be the same kind of vibe.
For sure. Seamus?
I saw people who had already, I saw like social media impressions of people who had seen the movie already with some screenings, and I think those made me more excited than I was, because I was a little more on the I'll see it if I got like a free weekend, I'll use my A list to go see it or whatever. And then I saw those reviews that were like, hey, do you guys like the Fall of Cybertron games? And I was like, you're fucking lying to me. Don't fucking lie to me. Don't look at me in the face and say it's Fall of Cybertron, but with a little bit of comedy.
I wouldn't buy that at all.
And they're like
bullshit on that one.
They're literally like, no, it's literally like Fall of Cybertron, but if they just had a little more comedy in it. And I'm like, you're fucking lying. You're bullshitting me. So now I'm like, I don't know if they're telling the truth or not, but I have to see it to see if they're telling the truth.
They actually said that, like they mentioned Fall of Cybertron, because again, that's what the best Transformers game ever made.
They were like, "Do you know the Cybertron games?" They said the dramatic moments of this movie were like so much like the Cybertron games, and I was like,
"That is a high ass bar."
They said it was like the Cybertron games and the beginning of Bumblebee, just like, and I was like, "Fuck you! You're fucking lying to me right now. There's no way."
Well, granted, like I can see
I'll
those
believe
vibes.
it when I see it.
That's what I'm saying, and that's why I have to go see it now, because I have to believe.
Well, I was getting those vibes because like when I was watching a lot of the action for the action that they showed off. It reminded me of Cybertron, and I was like the Cybertron games. I was like, oh shit, like that's really cool. But again, it looks fun. It looks like it's gonna be some good action. Yeah. Again, not that
I can't believe they had Optimus Prime flip the bird at someone.
Yeah,
I can't believe that. I saw that in the trailer, and I was like, I've been using that image of Optimus doing this, like from back here. I've been using that on like Declan for years, and I'm like, holy shit, they put it in the fucking movie.
Finally listening to the fans.
Yeah, it's what I've always wanted.
But yeah, it looks dope. It looks gonna be a good time. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be good action. Again, some dramatic moments as well. I'm just looking at also one of the big announcements that they dropped for the movie is that, because obviously you have Chris Hemsworth playing Orion Pax, you have Brian Terry Henry playing D16, Scarlett Johansson playing Elita, and then you have King Mike.
Battle Angels in this movie.
Battle Angels gonna be in the movie.
Oh my god!
John Hamm is playing. John Hamm is playing Sentinel Prime. But the big reveal is that the villain of the movie is going to be none other than the person I can't stand the most, Starscream, being played by none other than Steve fucking Buscemi. Perfect.
That's a crazy casting.
Yeah. So that is going to be the highlight for me. Is just Steve Buscemi being an annoying piece of shit for like an hour and like 30 minutes.
I like how they're able to call him Darkwing again.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, is Disney going to attack you guys or what's going on?
Yeah, man. But yeah, other than that, any other thoughts before we move on to the next movie? Well, now this is gonna be the big boy. This is gonna be the big part.
Yeah,
I'm good.
So thumbs up, thumbs down. For me, it's a thumbs up. I'm looking forward to watching this movie.
I'm already this deep into Transformers. I might as well see. You know?
Yeah. Shameless plug. Check out our Transformers series that Rebecca hosted. Well, and it was a lot of fun, and it was a good time. But yeah, so now we're getting into the big boy now. So now we're gonna be talking about, obviously they hyped it up with that really dope ass drone show on Friday night of Comic-Con. But now we're gonna be talking about the Marvel Studios Hall H panel now. So to start off, I mean, pretty much they had the usual panel on Hall H. This was Marvel's return after kind of the clusterfuck of last year, where they announced 30 fucking titles.
I'm gonna need you to go back into the clips and play how excited you were for all those announcements.
Yeah.
I'll make a clip of it.
I'd say go back into the clips and count how many of those are no longer going to be coming out.
Yeah.
Dude, I can't believe they filmed an Ironheart show and they've had it filmed for 2 years and they're just not doing anything with it.
Because you know what? So I'm just gonna go off rip and say just talking about just the presentation in general. Kevin Feige said, "Oh, we're only announced 3 stuff," and I was just like, "Why?" Because what about all these other projects that you announced in between? And then I realized, oh wait, D23 is in 2 weeks. You slippery bastard.
D23 may be in 2 weeks, but the end filming date for Ironheart was about 3 years ago. So he's had 3 D23s to be showing me Anthony Ramos as the Hood. He knows I want the Hood, and he's specifically holding out to be like, "Fuck you."
It's going in the Batgirl category of unreleasable.
If it does, it'll be the funniest thing to ever happen to me. To be like, I need the Hood in live action, and then they cast Anthony fucking Ramos as the Hood, and then they're like, "Actually, you're never gonna get to see that ever. Fuck you."
And then Seamus, for me personally, because you were shitting on me when I got my Scar shit and it was botched. So if you don't get the Hood, it balances out. So
if I do get the Hood though, it's still fuck you and Scar.
But yeah, people, just to people that don't know, they had a series of obviously they had some of the cast members out. The only products they announced were to start off were Captain America: Brave New World, Thunderbolts, and the Fantastic Four, and then they revealed other stuff later on, which we'll talk about. But yeah, just to start off, people. So yeah, the first thing we can go through this briefly because people haven't checked it out on the YouTube side. I did a reaction to Captain America: Brave New World, the trailer that they dropped. Just offer it, people. Just real quick, what are your thoughts on Brave New World? Real quick, any because y'all didn't join me on my reaction, so on the trailer. But any thoughts on Brave New World? Just real quick.
I thought the trailer was better than I expected it to be, but I'm still extremely cautious about this movie between all the reshoots and all the other stuff that was going on, behind the scenes and in the movie and all that. Mm-hmm. So we'll see.
Yeah, I was telling you, I was telling Mikey earlier, I was like, this is definitely going to be one of those ones. I'm going to be like, I'll wait till the reviews come out before I see it. It's not going to be like a day one, first weekend viewing. It's going to be one of those ones where it's like, is this worth my time? Or is this going to be like just a clusterfuck of reshoots? But yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
It's just like them hyping up the fact that the word adamantium is used. I'm like, so you guys just don't have a story, do you? You guys just don't got shit going. The fact that you got to hype up adamantium as if Wolverine is not in a movie this weekend. Like he's already in. We already.
Seamus, you got to remember, this is all just set up for the Thunderbolts.
Oh, I don't even want to fucking.
Okay. We'll get there. But to start off, I mean, from my reaction, I'm actually on kind of the. I mean, I am apprehensive, but I am very excited to watch it. Because I'm a shill,
Mikey.
Because I'm a shill, and because I love Falcon Winter Soldier and love Anthony Mackie as Sam and seeing his journey as Cap. Great. Again, more Isaiah Bradley, Eli Bradley stuff. Seamus, come on now. We gotta pop him.
I know, but he's a terrorist, dude. They made a dude who is like, and I guarantee you, dude, I think making Isaiah Bradley a terrorist on top of having Sabra in the movie is going to be the most like, it's going to be the most racist movie I've ever seen. And the fact that the other half of the movie is them going, Sam, you're not really Cap, are you? I'm going to be like, great. I'm just going to have to deal with like firsthand racism the entire time through that movie. But then being Isaiah Bradley, he's a little extreme, isn't he? I'm like, I don't know, dude. He was kind of unjustly experimented on in World War II. Maybe he has the right to kill the president. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know, but Thunderbolt Ross isn't always the nicest guy. Isn't he a villain in those Hulk books? What the fuck? So that's why I'm like, this whole movie's premise already is just like batshit insane. And I'm like, I don't know how you can salvage this to any kind of good, feel-good superhero movie. Other than like another depressing, like, well, we beat him. Like, I just don't like it.
but here's we'll just off. So I watched the panel, and so pretty much it's just they brought out Anthony Mackie, Danny Ramirez, Giancarlo Esposito, our boy bugging out, Timothy Blake Nelson, and Harrison Ford. And pretty much we're just talking about just the vibes of the movie. Obviously they mentioned the whole adamantium thing. And pretty much, what I got out of it was, so I'm seeing, what is, Danny Ramirez's journey to being now going to be the new Falcon, that was cause I'm really excited for that being, because he's playing, Joaquin Torres, who's the second Falcon in the comics. We got to reveal that Giancarlo Esposito, who has been teasing us for a while about like, we've been guessing on who's going to be playing and how we're all wrong. And he was right, because it's revealed that he's going to be playing Sidewinder, who is the leader of the Serpent Society. And I'm just like,
if they're not dressing him up as a giant snake, then what's the fucking point, dude?
That's what I'm saying. I hope at the end he is in the giant snake suit, just to be like, look at me, I'm in a snake suit.
I'll take giant snake mech too. Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, get him in like him in like a fucking Gundam.
It's Giancarlo Esposito, so he's gonna do good in the role, obviously. But it's just like Sidewinder, because I don't know if you all saw my reaction, but I was hoping that the rumors were gonna be true, that he was gonna be playing like William Stryker, because that would have been a cool role for him. Yeah. I don't know. That's just me. But and also so Sidewinder we got that reveal that's Giancarlo's been playing. We got more insight on Timothy Blake Nelson reprising his role as Samuel Stearns, and who's now going to be the leader after 15 years of seeing him in the Incredible Hulk. So that was really cool to see. And obviously we got more of Harrison Ford lying to the audience about how he's excited to be in the MCU as Thunderbolt Ross. And that's pretty much it. I mean, it was pretty brief, but it was the big thing why I want you and Rebecca to watch it, Seamus, because it was just Anthony Mackie just talking shit on Tom Holland for like 20 minutes.
It was, I did see that, and I was like, all right. Anthony Mackie's charisma is making me kind of want to see the movie, because he's just
his excitement as being Cap and headlining his own movie. I'm so proud of him. I'm happy for him.
That's what sucks. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I wish he just had a better movie to be in. That I was like, fuck yeah. Instead of like great, now I gotta watch an IDF soldier in this fucking movie. Great, man.
Yeah, there's just so much working against it that it's hard to stay positive about it.
Yeah. And like just the fact it seems so stuffed with bullshit. Like, we need the leader on top of Red Hulk, on top of Sidewinder, on top of like continuing an Eternals plot line. Like, now we have to deal with the Celestials and Adamantium. And fucking and I'm like, what is, there is no story that needs all this shit. And if there is a story that needs all this shit, I guarantee you Marvel currently doesn't have the writers that are capable of cohesively bringing that all together. And it's going to feel a little disjointed and like, oh.
Yeah, I think those are going to show.
Yeah, because like the reshoots are concerning, the rewrites and the writers' changes are concerning. I mean, we'll see. Because I know like obviously Sabra is going to be it, and it's just like I don't know if you want to introduce an Israeli character superhero right now.
Maybe
And
like the room.
And like that whole fucking end fight scene they're probably gonna have with Red Hulk where he's at the cherry blossoms. None of that has looked real or good yet. You know what I mean? Like I saw Anthony Mackie standing there, and I'm like, you're not in a real place. This is a green screen, and it's very obvious you're standing in front of a green screen. And I'm like, could you have not filmed in DC? Like, was it really that difficult that you had to dress him up in Georgia? You couldn't have just been like, oh, we'll film like 2 establishing shots.
I can take the shitty CGI for this if it means getting like anything decent out of the story.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but like for a fact they're not skimping on money to go towards better writers. They're skimping on money to be like, well, we gotta pay Harrison Ford a shit ton because no way he'd agree.
I don't want to know. I think Rebecca said this. But like before we start, but like she wants to know how much money they pay Harrison Ford to be in this movie. Like
I want to know how much money they paid on every actor who appeared at Hall H. Period. Because this Hall H seems like they just got like fucking boatloads of money just to get these random heads who don't give a fuck anymore about this shit.
They probably got everyone on this like weird ass Star Wars contract.
Yeah, I know.
And the thing is, like, and also I'm looking at the cast list real quick just to see remember people. Wifey, Rosa Salazar is going to be in it. I think she's playing Diamondback, who's a part of the Serpent Society. I think. Her character name is just Rachel Layton, so I don't know. But I heard that like it was going to be like that she's going to be in the Serpent is going to be Diamondback, but I could be wrong. But also apparently Liv Tyler's coming back as Betty Ross, which is crazy.
See, you're doing all this Hulk shit, but you're not you're not able to have the Hulk in the movie.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing I was talking about earlier where they were talking about because there's that whole rumor about how someone asked Feige about a plot point in Deadpool and Wolverine and how it ties to the main universe. And Kevin Feige answered it by being like, well, it's Spider-Man. And I'm like, why are you banking your entire like 2 big Avengers movies on a character you don't have the full rights to? That you're not going to be able to do any direct follow-up storyline-wise in a movie unless Sony gets the go-ahead to do it. So it's like, I don't know. It's so disjointed at this point that I'm like, hey guys,
Shout out to Chris Valera, bro. Shout out to our boy Chris Valera. But he's like, that's where half the budget went was to pay Harrison
That's what
Ford.
I'm saying. Half the budget literally went to Harrison Ford going, I don't want to be in this shit anymore. Give me money to fly more planes. And you're like, fucking A, dude. And then he got up on stage, and I guarantee you he just made a big show so people cannot ask him, did you even want to be here? But he just shut that question down at every press junket.
As someone who watched the panel, that's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm looking forward to it, even though I'm a bit apprehensive. If you want to see my thoughts on it, check out my reaction that I dropped.
The only 2 parts I will be there for are just Anthony Mackie and Giancarlo. That's it. Everyone else can go. I don't really care about everyone else. Tim Blake Nelson, I love you. Please do more Ballad of Buster Scruggs. Do not do more Leader, please.
For me though, it's Anthony Mackie. I want to see how Danny Ramirez does as Joaquin. Isaiah Bradley, like Carl Lumbly as Isaiah Bradley. Like I like I'm looking forward to seeing Seth Rollins' scenes getting cut. But that's all I gotta say on Captain America before we move on to the next movie.
Yeah.
Wait, Chris is like Sam Elliott drum Hulk 03 deserves a second chance if you're giving others a second chance. Okay, yeah, I mean,
get Sam Elliott, and then you got half the cast of Ballad of Buster Scruggs, and then just get the Coen brothers, and then just make another Western movie using a Marvel budget. That's how I win.
Yeah. And then my girl Chris on IG, she said, I'm watching for Anthony Mackie as well. I'm always keeping a secret. I'm sorry, I'm watching for Anthony, always keeping a secret Mackie as well. Exactly. My favorite part of
the funniest face I've ever seen every time.
Yeah. And it's funny because my favorite part of the panel when it was like when Harrison Ford was talking about like why he's excited to come back, and then you just see Anthony Mackie interrupting being like, he's like, tell Tom Holland I got fucking Harrison Ford. Fuck you, Tom Holland. It was hilarious. I'm just like, oh man. But yeah, I'm good. Y'all good to talk about the next movie. All right. So the next one is I'm just gonna say it off rip because the title bothers me still. Cause I don't know what the fuck it means.
I had a whole discussion. We had that whole discussion on call about this. When
Thunderbolts asterisks. Yeah. I'm not, Rebecca. I'm not messing with you. That is literally the title of the movie. If you go on Google,
that's the title, and we talked about it. And Kevin Feige, when he announced the title, he said, "The asterisk is a thing. It is important, and we can only talk about it after the movie released." And instantly, I said, "They don't have any fucking idea why there's an asterisk there. They're just trying to get people to see this fucking movie. Because there's no way. Because everyone was like, oh my God, it's an asterisk because they're not really the Thunderbolts. They're going to be the Dark Avengers. And I'm like, that entices me about as much as Thunderbolts. I don't care. And I bet you that the subtitle's just going to be the Thunderbolts, and then the subtitle's just going to be like Sentry, fuck, or something.
It's funny because like the actual like the original, like remember when, like last year when they announced all those movies, the actual logo they had for the Thunderbolts was actually kind of cool, and I was like, why would you get rid of that? At least put the asterisk
the logo
on that.
is cool, and then now it literally just has the Hawkeye font.
Right? It just
and I'm like, why are we using the Hawkeye font? What the fuck?
Maybe that's what the asterisk is for.
The asterisk is gonna just be all the Thunderbolts are gonna die, and it's just gonna be a fucking Hawkeye movie. I'm gonna be sitting in the theater, and I'm gonna be like, "Damn it! I wish I still had an app to specifically talk about Hawkeye on."
And just to cement that like I'm not really that we're not joking. Like this is literally like
Mikey's pulling it up so we don't look like crazy people.
Yeah, like this is literally the title, like Thunderbolts asterisks, like that's what it is.
Look at that.
Usually when you put an asterisk, you have a little text explaining like what it means.
Yeah, they didn't do that. And also I watched the panel for this as well. I watched the whole thing, and they pretty much was saying that I'm shout out to because what's his name, Pete, Peter from Deadpool was the host for the whole panel, and he asked somebody like, why is there called the Thunderbolts and there's no Thunderbolt Ross? And then Kevin Feige was like, oh, because it's like typical comic stuff. They just have the same name. I'm just like, fucking Feige. Like,
yeah, I'm like, Feige, you lazy piece of shit. Fucking like you couldn't have just had like Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character work with Thunderbolt Ross, and that's why it's called it. She uses an old plan Thunderbolt Ross had, and that's why it's called the Thunderbolts. You know what I mean?
You already dragged Harrison Ford to the studio for a day. You can have him read 5 extra lines.
I'm saying, yeah, you couldn't have even just like mentioned his character to be like, I'm using a plan Thunderbolt Ross came up with when he was a general back to rehabilitate people or whatever, or do like a spec ops thing. Because like I heard, I don't know if you want to get into this yet, Mikey, about the plot that I heard of what it's going to be about from the panel.
Okay.
But I heard that it's basically the reason they all come together is because they're all basically sent on a certain mission individually, expecting to die. And they all eat one by one. It's basically like the new X-Men.
It's a giant meat cube.
It's like the new X-Men where Professor X sent the original X-Men in, and they all went silent, and he goes, fuck. And then he sends another team in, and they go silent. He goes, fuck. And then he sends a third team in, and finally they do it, and they become a team. It's literally that, where like someone sends in Bucky. He goes quiet. Red Guardian, he goes quiet. And then eventually they all are alive and they meet up there and they're like, well, I guess we got to work together because we're all fucking stuck here. So, which I'm like, okay, that's a little more interesting than what I thought it was going to be. Because like
I can take that over Diet Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I like the idea
anyway,
that someone was specifically setting them up to get killed. Like they were sending them in.
Yeah, it was a setup the whole time.
We'll murder all these secret agents one by one for whatever reason by just sending them on a solo suicide mission. And then they all ended up surviving somehow, and now it's like, oh, they're a team who's trying to, I guess, fight Sentry or something. But yeah, I think that premise made me go like, all right, I might check this out.
It's intriguing. It's an intriguing part of it.
Yeah.
And just real quick, let me go through the cast. Obviously, Florence Pugh as Elena Belova, Sebastian Stan reprising himself as Bucky Barnes, aka the Winter Soldier. We got who else? Wyatt Russell reprising his role as John Walker, now as U.S. agent officially. We have I think Olga Kurylenko is still coming back as Taskmaster, but she wasn't on the panel. She wasn't on the panel. Okay, Seamus, relax. Hannah John Kalman to play Ghost. And we have a few new additions. Oh, also David Harbour came back as a Red Guardian, and he came back in costume in a little bit. And I like the new design for the Red Guardian costume. which is really cool. Julia Louis-Dreyfus as Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, aka Val, as the leader of the bunch. And we have 2 new additions. So we have who I love this actress, Geraldine Viswanathan, who is we're actually replacing Ayo Adebari, because she was supposed to be in the role, but she couldn't do it. So she's replacing her in the film. And we got Lewis Pullman, who is the son of, who is the nepo baby of Bill Pullman, who is playing Bob, who's referred to only as Bob. And that's when I looked at the screen, I'm like, yo, we know who the fuck you're playing, bro. Don't fucking play.
You're playing your character from Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah.
I just can't believe that he is called Bob in Top Gun Maverick, and then he comes out and they're like, "Hi, his character's Bob," and everyone on Twitter I saw immediately was like, "Top Gun Maverick sequel? It's an asterisk because it's going to be Thunderbolts Maverick."
Oh my gosh!
I'm like, "Yo, that'd be hilarious."
But oh shoot, but yeah, but yeah. So they pretty much just talked about again what Seamus said. Yeah, the plot of the movie, which I think is very interesting. The character dynamics, how that's gonna work. They also talked about, like the stunts, how they got what's her name? Forget her name, but she was a stunt choreographer for Scarlett Johansson for like most of her career. She's like the main stunt coordinator and like the action DP on the film, and how the action is gonna be really, really good, and how Florence Pugh did a lot of her own stunts for this. And also like I think the only other news are Ghost has a new suit and shit, and that was pretty much it. But it was just going through all their characters, and also Sebastian's talking about how how his career playing Bucky for a long time, and now how this is going to set apart, and how he's really the best part about being in the Thunderbolts is just like the cast. Everyone's talking about how great the cast is with each other and all that. So it got me a little intrigued.
That's the only thing they can compliment at this point, because that's all they can talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm starting to get into the who cares territory.
Exactly. Because I was literally about to say, I was like, this would be cool if it was characters that I actually cared about, or if they did the Suicide Squad bit where all these characters actually do end up dying immediately, and then it's a different team. You know what I mean? Where like all these characters die at the beginning 2 Sentry, and then Bucky's the only one who makes it out alive, and then he's got to form a new team. I think that would be more interesting, because right now they're assembling characters that no one cares about. Like, God bless all these actors, but like, do you really think Ghost and Taskmaster and Red Guardian and Yelena are going to be moving tickets, or do you think people are going to be like, no thanks? Because I'll probably be there just for Sentry, because I like Sentry. I don't give a fuck. Like, Bucky's the only other character that I'm like, oh, I kind of care about him. Like U.S. Agent, I'm sure will be fun, but like if he dies, I'm not going to be heartbroken. I'm going to be like, all right, well, he was a dick.
Do you think they're going to be deaths in this?
I think they're going to be deaths. I don't see why there wouldn't be a couple deaths.
There should be.
Well, dude, look at how many people are on this fucking team. Like, there are like all these people on this team, and one of them doesn't even talk half the time. Like, who cares?
Well, I think the only one excluding like Geraldine Viswanathan's character, which we don't know who she's playing. I don't think she's going to be on I don't think she's going to be on a roster. I think she just might be like a supporting character, or maybe she is. I don't know. But
still, that's a lot of characters. You could kind of cut a couple. You could have a couple of depressing deaths. You know what I mean? I think the only 2 you actually need going forward are just Bucky and Yelena, because they're the only 2 that probably will have stuff in other movies. But
yeah,
what was it called? My girl Chris was like those 5 extra lines that they needed after the actress would have costed them millions. That's why they didn't put it on the logo. That's so funny. But yeah, I mean, listen, I mean, Thunderbolts is like because again, rewind the tape. Me and Seamus did a reaction to like the Thunderbolts, like the announcements, and we talked about how like who we wanted instead, and I'm still butthurt about that. But yeah, I'm obviously gonna check it out, but I'm not really that excited for it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't know. It's depressing to me. I know comic book accuracy is not a important thing to an adaptation, and it's not required. But it is a little depressing when Deadpool and Wolverine can have a 2-minute montage that nails like 18 comic references and makes them like relevant to the plot and story and work within the story. But then like all of Marvel's main films are struggling to have some kind of relation to any like comic based accuracy. You know what I mean? Like it's just like this is not the Thunderbolts. They're just using the name, and this is going to extend to what we're going to talk about next. But
Seamus is like the world's first comic Thunderbolts defender.
Yeah. Like I don't know what you would call this team, but I'm sure you could call it something cool, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Bugging out.
Fucking A!
Oh,
I don't know.
Let's move on. I'm tired of talking about.
Or you could say, Allegra de Fontaine, Victoria, fucking Lucia von Bartis character is just say that she's running Sword now, and just have these characters be agents of Sword, and then boom, oh look, we did it, Joe. We came up with a cool new team instead of like having everyone come in expecting Thunderbolts and then getting like fucking like the dregs of Captain America and Black Widow movies. That's also why this kind of feels ass, is that it feels like I'm not getting like main storylines anymore. I'm getting full movies made out of like Captain America and Black Widow subplots that I didn't care about.
Yeah, and it's just to close my thoughts up. Yeah, like, and again, what we said before, Seamus, like in that other clip that we did, like 4 of these characters are the exact same thing. There's no like variation within each character in terms of like, you know, what makes them stand out.
And I get the point is that someone is trying to eliminate secret agents, so that's why they all have like similar skill sets. So I hope there is a compelling reason why they're trying to get rid of all these like agent characters. You know what I mean? Because if they can come up with a compelling reason, I'll be like, okay, I get why they all have the same skill set. That's interesting, but who knows?
But yeah, so I'm kind of done talking about Thunderbolts asterisks. So let's just move on. So yeah, the next movie is obviously one of the most anticipated movies of next year. Is a little film known as Fantastic Four. Because that was one of the big things with San Diego Comic Con, because again they hyped it up that like during the panel that like at exactly literally like the day they had the panel, exactly a year from now is when the movie's going to be in theaters. So that was like a big talking point on the panel, but they officially revealed that the actual title for the movie is called The Fantastic Four: First Steps. Yeah. And obviously they said that they weren't there originally, but Kevin Feige lied as he always does and brought out Papa Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, Kirby as Sue Storm, Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, and our boy cousin Eben Moss Backrack to play Ben Grimm, aka the Thing. So yeah, like I mean, it was simple. It was a simple kind of like, and they brought out Matt Shackman, who is obviously known from his success with WandaVision, who's going to be directing this film. But here's a real question, people, because they had the panel and stuff, but I know Rebecca didn't see this, and I'm not gonna play there because I don't want us to get like axed and shit. But Seamus, did you see the leak?
I've seen all the leaks. Yeah.
Were those just the photos? Because I think I've seen them too.
No, they showed off they showed off the kind of like the little preview that they kind of made, like the previous preview they made for Fantastic Four. I think I saw some of that. I'm not gonna off rip just to go off of that knowledge, and obviously hearing from the panel, I'm intrigued by this. Like I'm liking the whole, like kind of like this future, like retro futuristic 60s, like the Jetsons type thing that they're going with. It looks really fun. Like it's a really different take on it, and I think it works really well. They really
Marvel film I care about the most at this panel.
I completely agree with that, because
I also agree as well.
Even those 2 Avengers movies they announced, I was like, the Fantastic, because I think just the way that you can totally tell that this had such a specific vision that is being realized, and it's such a specific way to adapt these characters that you're like, okay, Matt Shackman at least has a story in mind that he wants to tell using these characters. And it isn't like he's just like, I guess someone's got to make a Fantastic Four adaptation. Yeah, he's like no, I actually thought about it. I have a good idea for it that's different and interesting, but also still feels familiar. And I'm like, this is like, so far, at least from all the stuff I'm hearing, this is sounding very good.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, after seeing that little previs, I'm loving the retro futuristic. Like, it reminded me so much of the Jetsons. I was talking about Kevin, who was on the IG peak, and he was like, we're all that yesterday. Like, it feels like the Jetsons to me. Like, I love that aesthetic again, because people that don't know, it's him taking place in another universe. Because again, they're doing multiverse shit to bring the Fantastic Four in, and I think it's really fun. It's very, very quirky, very kind of. There's a lot of heart and like a lot of passion put into the way they're doing this version of the Fantastic Four, and they really. and if you watch the panel, they talked about how like they really wanted to really showcase how this is a family first. I mean, like that this is a family, and I really could feel that kind of in a way, hearing the cast talk about them doing the readings and stuff like that with each other, and how Vanessa Kirby and Joseph Quinn, who are the only British people in the main cast, how they're going to be taking everybody out for a pint to get to know each other a little bit better, to build that chemistry. I really like this a lot. It was really cool. And what other thing that they also did show as well is that they showed a little kind of like VFX kind of like preview of what Javier Bardem is going to look like as Galactus, and that wasn't leaked. I haven't seen a leak of that at all.
It's not Javier.
It wasn't Javier?
No, it's they announced it was Ralph Ineson from the Green Knight.
Right. I'm sorry. I don't know why I said Javier. Because he was maybe my choice. Because he was maybe our original choice for Galactus.
We've been talking about, because it was rumored it was either Javier or Antonio Banderas, and then they announced it was going to be Ralph Ineson from.
My mistake. Ralph Ineson as Galactus. I think they showed off a little bit of like some VFX like previews of him.
They showed him looking through the building window, and I was like, "Holy shit, that looks good already, dude!" It was just his fucking eyes.
If you can find that, I haven't seen it, dude.
It's literally him. It's literally like a 2-second shot. It's blurry as hell. It's 2 seconds of him like coming in front of the like Baxter Building top floor windows, and it's just his big ass fucking eyes, and I can already see the fucking helmet and everything, and I was like, "Oh, that looks so cool! All right, they got me. Fuck."
That's awesome. If you can send that to me, put it in like maybe in the Discord. That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
I want me to check it out. Overall, man, I'm really looking forward. I'm liking the direction. Again, there's an actual like legitimate vision with this, which again is kind of lacking in some of the other projects. But there's a legitimate vision. There's direction. Again, love the aesthetic. Love again that little previs that got leaked. I love how you see Reed being like a professor teaching kid. You see, the little family aesthetic. You see kind of Ben on a dating show, on a classic like cable dating show. That was really cool.
I thought that was hilarious that he's on a blind date show and you can easily tell, like, he's just there in the shadows, and I'm like, oh my god, that's funny as fuck. That
it's so funny, and it's so cute. And it's like, and
it's so stupid. I saw one of those fucking like all Easter eggs from the Hall H panel, and the thumbnail was that, and there was a big ass arrow pointing into the thing, and I was like, yeah, I think we can all see that that's the thing. You don't need to do one of those stupid fucking like circles with the big ass arrow pointing to it over him. Like, he's a big rock guy. Like,
and yeah, but it was really cool. And then like and the color palette, I'm loving all of it. I will be getting the art book after this movie drops because I'm loving the art direction for this. And yeah, this is one of the products. Yeah, like again, I am excited for Captain America, but this is one of the products that I'm like, I have the absolute faith in. I'm really looking forward to seeing how it's going to come out.
Footage is in. I dropped the Galactus footage in the Discord if you want to check it out.
I'm not gonna share. I'm just gonna like see.
I'll share it. Yeah, just do the, because everyone else can find it. You just look up Galactus footage on YouTube and it'll be like the first like 2 fucking.
I gotcha, but yeah, dude, but also real quick, here's the most important question for you guys. What do you think of the Fantastic car that they showed off?
I love that design. That looks sick.
It looked silly, so it gets a win from me.
Yeah, like silly is like, I'm like, yeah, it's funny. Like, make it look a little goofy because it's literally a fucking thing called the Fantastic Car. If it doesn't look a little goofy like a flying car, I don't want that. Because I saw people doing like their own designs of it, and it was literally like a fucking like sleek and I was like, that looks dumb because it looks too like cool. It's supposed to look a little silly, man.
Seamus, I don't know if you saw my face, but this looks hard as fuck.
Right? Doesn't it look sick as hell? He comes up to that fucking window, and you're like, "Oh, that's Galactus."
That's Galactus, dude.
And then he's gonna have the Green Knight voice, and you're gonna be like, "Oh Lord."
Oof. But yeah, overall, I'm hyped. I'm definitely gonna be looking to see more. I mean, this comes out in July, like literally like a week. It's a week apart from Superman, right?
Yeah, I'm shocked that he was like, it just started filming 2 weeks ago, and they already have all this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they were like, yeah, it started filming. It's coming out a year from now, and they already have all this done. So I'm like, they must have been cranking hard on the pre-production to get all this shit like ready to go.
A movie that's gonna save the MCU right before they tank it again.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, people. Rebecca, Seamus, have any more thoughts you want to say
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Cast is stellar. Matt Shackman looks like he already knows what the fuck he's doing, which I'm excited about. Michael Giacchino scoring the movie is going to be fucking incredible.
That's also great. That's also a highlight to me too.
The set design and the costume design looks great. I love the fact that Mr. Fantastic gets his name from being a Bill Nye kids show presenter named Mr. Fantastic. I think that's really cool.
That was great.
That's what I'm saying. There's just a lot of cool ideas that I'm like, okay, someone gave a shit here. Someone actually cared here. So that's why I'm
make Reed likable.
Yeah, right.
Make Reed likable.
So yeah, I hope it's good. I hope it's really good.
Yeah. Rebecca, you have nothing else you want to say?
I'm good.
I can't stop looking at this Galactus. This is crazy. I'm sorry.
It's literally like 2 seconds of his head like doing this, and I'm already like, oh.
I'm just waiting to address the elephant in the room here.
I know.
Yeah. All right. So
listen, let me have 2 seconds of enjoying Galactus being cool before I like talk about how I'm never watching any of these movies again.
But yeah. So Fantastic Four. I think double thumbs up for us. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's the vibe. But yeah, people. So now we're gonna get into the big reveal. So first off, they announced that. Obviously we're gonna have 2 Avengers films, and originally, the fifth one was gonna be Kang Dynasty, but obviously Jonathan Majors had to have that scandal happen. So that they officially revealed, yeah, we're done. We thought that was wild. They was like, yeah, we're just gonna throw it away. We're done. We're no Kang. And they pretty much revealed that the new title for Avengers is going to be Avengers 5, along with Secret Wars, is going to be titled Avengers Doomsday. And that is going to be Avengers Doomsday is going to be dropping May 2026, and Secret Wars is going to be dropping with the new design logo in 2027. So they're going to be a year apart from each other, just like Infinity War and Endgame. So that was one of the big reveals. But also one of the other big reveals was that it was rumored for a while, it was rumored that the Russo brothers may or may not be coming back. I was told that I think there was a rumor that they were not going to come back. That Marvel Studios said no.
They both had said like, hey, we're good. Like I think it was like about a year ago.
Yeah, and then it was revealed that no, they lied. They're coming back to redirect them, and I'm just like,
they got a big old check.
They got a big old check, and I'm just like, yeah, like I was a little bummed out because again, I like the Russos, but like again, it looks like this Marvel is just playing it safe. They like because they couldn't find at least another director that they worked with in the past very well,
dude.
To direct like, I know Ryan Coogler was mentioned, and I was like,
dude, look at this list. Listen to this list. They had Ryan Coogler, Daniel Destin Cretton, and Sam Raimi as like the short list to direct these movies, and I'm like, fucking A, dude. Any of those 3 would have done like it would have been way more exciting than these 2 fucking dicks who like walk around. Ever since Endgame happened, they've been making the shittiest, most generic $700 million action movies for Netflix. Did anyone fucking care about the Gray Man? Who the fuck? No.
Not really.
And guess what? They've been walking around also going like, we should put way more AI into movies. TikTok is really the future of cinema. And I'm sitting there like, I'm going to kill you guys. Like, genuinely. If you guys keep saying this shit, I'm fucking done. And now that Marvel's like, oh, but these guys are going to come back and make 2 bangers. And I'm like, ever since they left, they haven't. So I don't know if I trust these guys anymore. I don't know. Their goodwill kind of rubbed off when I had to watch 2 hours of The Gray Man. And be like,
literally, like,
sucks.
Like, yeah, like the Russos, ever since Endgame, have not been, and Endgame and Infinity War have not been able to find their footing as directors, like, at all. I think because I remember
why they came back too, because they haven't done shit worth anything since they left, and now they're like, well, might as well get paid.
Yeah, that's why we made Endgame. It's like you don't have to challenge yourself anymore,
Yeah. And it's also super depressing because these guys are like my favorite TV directors of all time. I love Arrested Development. I love Community. And like to see these guys then now be like, I love AI. Here's 40 Marvel movies. I'm like, oh, come on, guys.
But, I feel like their directing skill, they've been lacking on the directing wise, but they're producing wise. Like, they did like Extraction 1 and 2. They did like, Deadly Class. So,
you're listing stuff that is like just okay. You're not listing anything that is making me like go like holy shit.
You're gonna start something
You know what I
with
mean?
Deadly Class there.
Listen, you can like Deadly Class all you want, but you can't sit here and act like it's an Oscar award-winning program.
I never said it was.
I love Deadly Class. I like Deadly Class, but it is just okay. It's fun. I enjoy it. But I'm not gonna sit here and be like, you know what, this is the future of the MCU. I'm gonna be like,
It just produced it, so it's okay. But
I'm
it's
not saying though, but like these guys, like even their eye for producing is not insane. You know, like even like the actor who we will talk about later has a better producing credit than these fucking.
That's true.
You know? So like it's like listen, these guys were good when they needed to be used back in the day, but it's been almost like 5. It'll be 6 or 7 years by the time they're back in the chair. So like. Do we like that's why this totally reeks of like desperation and like we need to get people back watching these movies because no one's been watching them recently, you know, even though Deadpool's probably gonna it's like the 6th biggest opening ever. So I'm like, so why do you guys need to go for the desperation pick if Deadpool's making like insane bank, you know?
Yeah.
Listen, at least it wasn't Sean Levy directing this because that would have been
nah, but not no.
You would have watched me kill myself on this live.
Who do you want to have directed them, Seamus, real quick before we move on?
Dude, Sam Raimi would have fucking
Sam Raimi doing Doom would be so cool.
And Sam Raimi,
you know,
it would have been such a great full circle moment of him doing the first Spider-Man, and then now he's doing like the big Secret Wars movie that it's just like, it felt right. His directing in Multiverse of Madness, you can talk about how bad the script was, but his direction in that movie was so good. You know what I mean? There's so many cool shots in that movie, so many good ideas of like the fucking like fight scene with notes. I'm like, that's so interesting to do with 2 magic users. Like, how come no one's thought of that? And so
he's like one of the few directors I trust to handle the Fantastic Four well.
Yeah, right. And he was like begging to do Fantastic Four stuff in the 2000s. So it's like this dude was like begging to do all these characters, and he's a great director. But instead, you go with fucking like knock off the Fine Brothers. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, because it's.
That just hit me. Knock off Fine. I'm fun.
That's what they do. They're the knockoff Fine Brothers because they literally they're just reaction channel directors where they're like, ooh, this will get you to like film a fucking cool YouTube video where you go, you know. And it's like, we could have gotten something that was like a monument to superhero film and something that was interesting. And we still could, by the way, but these choices that they've made in succession give me no hope. They don't give me anything to be hopeful about, especially like with what casting announcement they did.
But here's the thing before we move on. One of the most concerning things about this is that like May 2026, that's not
2 years. No, not even 2 years. May 2026 is like a year and like 10 months away, and they're gonna film.
All that just means that like everything, a lot of stuff that they announce either is just it is happening, but some stuff, but a lot of stuff is getting cut just to make way for this.
Stuff is getting cut, and I also expect people to get cut from this movie. I expect them to write off like. Doctor Stranger's in the Shadow Realm. He can't come. You know what I mean? Shit like that. Or like,
they're just gonna put together all that Ironheart footage that you're not releasing.
Oh my god, yeah, I know. I hope there's one scene of an incursion happening and Anthony Ramos's hood just dies, and then I'll be like, look, they did it. Like the production timetable for this makes no sense. It's way too close, especially with how many people you got to get on board for both of these movies.
Exactly.
So you're probably going to film back to back.
It's going to be a scheduling nightmare. Like it really will be.
Scheduling nightmare. It's going to look like shit because they're going to have to CGI and green screen people all together, and you're going to be like, I can pick out exactly who wasn't in the same room for this, and it's going to look. And I'm going to be like, this doesn't make me happy at all. This is like watching a shambling corpse of my grandfather come back to try to make my favorite recipe when I was a kid. And I'm like, this is gross. He's not even making it correctly. He looks like shit. What's going on? I would have rather him just stay in the grave. you know?
Man. But yeah, so that's strike one. I know this was like, no, we already been strike one with like we were strike one with like the Thunderbolts and all that crap, and then and Asterix and but
this is like that was strike one. This is gonna be like strike
two. This is 2.
No, this is 8. This is like 8 of them. I'm fucking.
All right, so the Russo brothers are coming back. Yeah. So now the biggest bomb drop of them all was obviously with Avengers Doomsday. We have to have a Doctor Doom, clearly, and we've been wanting to see Doctor Doom in the MCU realized for years, ever since the rights came back, ever since they got the rights from Fox. Yes, Doctor. And they announced we're going to be doing Victor Von Doom. It's going to be happening, and they had a really cool fancy thing where it was actually kind of baller. I'm not gonna lie, where they had a bunch of Dooms, like a Doom people, like a Doom crowd, and then
the setup with the Doom bots was cool. The setup
that was cool shit.
Was really cool.
The setup, that was cool as shit. And then they got and then they had like the main actor who was going to be revealed as Doom show up, and yeah, so the person that they decided to reveal as Victor Von Doom. And when this is their words, they said Victor Von Doom is anyone want to take a guess?
No, fuck you. Just say it.
No other than our previous Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. And this was the moment where Seamus texted me. He's like, because I didn't know, man. He texted me right after I did the thing with Sean on Saturday, and I was like, he said, Mikey, I officially do not. I hate the MCU. I'm done with it. And I'm like, do tell. And that's when he broke the news to me, where it's like, Mikey, Robert Downey Jr. is going to be Dr. Doom. And I literally was like, first I was like, huh? And then I was literally just like, huh? And I was like, this is the stupidest decision I've ever heard.
This is like the second plane hitting for the MCU.
Rebecca, I literally said this is my 9/11. I will pull up the snap that I sent, but I literally was like, this is like my 9/11. And then you know what I saw on Twitter was someone just posted the panel from the Spider-Man 9/11 issue where Dr. Doom's in tears. And I was like, see, it's other people's 9/11s too. But
when I saw this, I literally had to check if this was actually discussing film or if it was.
I thought it was
I thought it was like disbussing film, and I was like, oh, that's funny. And then I got because I had notifications on for discussing film because they were live tweeting it, and then I got the real discussing film notification, and I was like, oh my god, I'm killing myself. But
here's the thing: Robert Downey Jr. is not a bad actor, but all they had to do was cast literally anyone else.
That's what listen. I had a whole. I'm gonna condense my 2-hour-long rant that I gave to Mikey and Declan to like 2 minutes because I concisely can now say how I feel about this shit, which is that Robert Downey Jr. objectively a great actor, Oscar winner, incredible in Oppenheimer. Will he do good? Will he be a good actor in this? Yeah. Will he be a good actor playing the character of Dr. Doom? No, because this character probably won't be Dr. Doom at all. And if it is Dr. Doom, he's going to be playing someone that is so removed from how Dr. Doom acts that it might as well just be someone else other than with the same name as Dr. Doom. You know what I mean? So, and on top of that, the fact that they're making a big show of Robert Downey Jr. is back. It's like, that's so desperate. You guys just want people to come back. You want that $2 billion that you got from Endgame. This isn't any kind of storyline that you guys were thinking of because you guys were fucking doing Kang 5 minutes ago. And then as soon as Jonathan Majors choked out that white woman on the streets of New York, you guys went, oh, how can we salvage this? And then you looked at Doom on the wall and you went, oh, the Lord has spoken. And now you had options to pick. Okay, who are we doing? We could get a Dev Patel in here. We could get a real cool Dr. Doom. We could get a Jamie Dornan. We could get a Cillian Murphy. We could get so many fucking people. We could drive a truckload of money up to Denzel Washington's house and just have him do his shit that he did in Shakespeare and have him be like, doth thou speak to me that way? And you're like, oh! But
if we just had Denzel Washington just recite his monologue from Training Day as Doom, I would die happy.
I would either take Training Day Denzel or The Tragedy of Macbeth Denzel because both would be equally as insane.
Yeah.
I was joking with my brother that they should have it. It's Doom. He's doing the Robert Downey Jr. voice to take off the mask, and it's Jamie Foxx underneath.
Oh my god! It's
no.
Yeah,
they take off the mask. They take off the mask, and it's his character from Tropic Thunder.
Oh my god, dude! If it was, yeah, we cast Black Robert Downey Jr. Fucking
Okay, so here's the thing with me, and I've said it to Seamus, and I think I briefly said it to Rebecca, but I was having a conversation with a friend of mine about it, and I literally was like, this decision is literally, it shows two things. One, how desperate Marvel is to get everyone back in their good graces, and two, how much lack of creativity they have right now, because they're grabbing at straws.
Right? It
just
feels
like,
so uninspired. It feels so lazy.
Because again, they've had a losing streak for a little bit, which again, it happened. I mean, it is what it is. It happens. But like the fact that instead of like trying to like make something, you know, try to tell the good stories, like, okay, no, what is everybody like? Oh, Doctor Doom, okay, great, we got Doctor Doom back. But who would we cast? So how we need people to like we need to sell people. What can we distract people with? What's a perfect smoke screen? Oh, they love RDJ. Let's have RDJ be Doctor Doom. And the guy in the corner is like, but that's not. How does that make sense? Listen, you're an intern. Shut up. Like it's like that is like it's gonna work. Trust me. We'll fix it in post. We'll fix it in post. And that's what it feels like to me. It's just like it's just like out of all the things you can do with to introduce Doctor Doom properly, it's just a Tony Stark variant and it's of Doctor Doom of Doom. Well, that's not even gonna be Victor Von Doom, like probably, even though we don't really know, but we're just theorizing here. It just seems so lazy and just like it's disappointing. And like what Seamus says, I agree. Robert Jr. is a great actor. We know that. I mean, he's Oscar Award winning. He just did Oppenheimer. I mean, he played a convincing ass black man. Like we know that. But it's just like, and we know he's gonna do a great job with what he's given. But again, it's just like, it just feels like recycling. Again, it feels like it's just recycling what used to work and to see if it's gonna work. If lightning's gonna strike twice. And at the same time, like you could, it sucks. Like there are many actors who could use a role like this of this caliber. You could have given a chance. That could have made that they could have, like, you know, put their stamp on the character. But again, you already have this Robert Downey Jr. just come in just to save quote unquote save the MCU. Like it's just like, dude, and my pick.
Could you imagine like a Damson Idris Doom?
Dude,
could you imagine that shit?
You know what my pick was actually? Like my actual number one pick, Cillian Murphy. After watching Oppenheimer.
Hey, Cillian Murphy. I bet you Kevin Feige told his assistant, go get that guy from Oppenheimer to be Doom, and then Kevin Feige's assistant fucking called the wrong guy.
Yeah,
I bet you that's what happened.
And hold on, real quick. I wanna on IG, because now the comments are wrong. It's Freddie and Chris. Shout out to Freddie and Chris. They're complaining. They're just like, so Chris is saying it kind of takes the impact from Stark's death too. Like he's been dead for like 5 years, and now it's just like, just kidding. I was about to make the joke about the same about Tropic Thunder, because it would be more entertaining if he was just in blackface again.
It would arguably be the funniest thing.
Yeah.
They're already whitewashing the character. They might as well try to reverse it.
Yeah, they might as well. But the thing is, like, and Freddie's saying, I actually haven't seen an MCU movie since Endgame, so I don't know what's even happening. It's like, oh wait, I did watch Spider-Man. All right, Freddie.
Yeah,
you gotta catch up.
You know what, Freddie? Is that you're like us explaining stuff? There's no setup for this shit. There isn't any. Yeah. Like there's nothing that I can explain to you that is a concrete setup of this happens here, which means that that you got to watch that, and then it leads to that, and it's like a whole. You can watch it in a straight line of like, okay, I get bits of information in each of these movies that makes me understand Avengers. It's like, no, this is purely just like an ass pull of like, here you go. You know that thing you liked? Here it is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know that thing that you like, and it's like the ultimate. It's like this is like the heat death of Marvel's cameo culture. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's for so many years they've been like, here's that thing you like. Oh, look, it's the actor you like. And now it's like this is like the worst. We're at the end point of it, where it's like now the actor you like is playing a character that he should not be playing, really.
And
I felt like on Twitter, I was on Twitter and I felt like Benoit Blanc in Glass Onion when he's like, it is so dumb, and then the girls like, oh, it's so dumb, it's brilliant, and I'm like, it's just dumb. Like, it's stupid. Like it's not. It's not so like, because I saw like even God bless Musa. Musa's been like, it's so crazy. I think it's great. I think it's a great pick. And I'm like,
Musa also been telling me as well that he's actually excited that it's happening.
And I'm like, listen, dude. Go ahead, be excited. Good for you, man. But also, like, I'm sure you can understand why I'm like, this is lazy. This is just not.
Because out of all the opportunities to get you a proper Victor Von Doom, like you just do this instead. Like why? Like
it's like all those years I prayed for Doom and Galactus to be the main villains of the MCU, and then the monkey paw finally curled, and now I got this shit to deal with, and I'm like, at least Galactus looks cool. At least Galactus has good casting.
But yeah, it's just it's crazy, and Chris is saying as well. People forget that Iron Man was RDJ's move back into the public's good graces, so they could have given someone else their breakout role as Doom 2. Yeah, there's also probably somebody else with a drug addiction that could use a role like this. Like, come on, like it just.
We're only looking at drug addicts. You know who's someone who just went through something that I think could use a redemption as Doom is Jonathan Majors. He just went through something that he could use.
It's so crazy.
Man.
It might work.
Oh my god! Could you imagine them giving Doom to Army Hammer?
Dude, that'd be crazy. The
actual cannibal Army Hammer.
And here's the thing too. Like it's just like what even though like I'm very not disappointed by this. And again, what?
Oh, they just said Robert Downey Jr. is, quote, getting paid significantly more than $80 million to star as Dr. Doom in 2 Avengers movies.
No shit.
He's getting like upwards of like $100 million to star in 2 movies.
Damn. Well,
they're banking everything on his back.
I know. They should be banking everything on those cameos from Deadpool and Wolverine, honestly. That would have been more exciting than this shit.
But and here's the thing, it's just like there's interesting, like this is like, even though I'm disappointed by it, I'm slightly open to it. What?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Marvel is the 80 million number came from that's what they're paying the Russos to direct each movie. And Robert Downey Jr. is getting on top of that significantly more than that. Just to come back as Doom.
The MCU is in shambles.
Yep. This is what I kept saying is I'm like, I know they spent a shit ton of money on this and it doesn't make any sense why they couldn't have spent a shit ton of money on an actor who cared, because I know for a fact there's an actor out there who is high profile, like maybe a Denzel, who if you drove that much cash up to him, he'd be like, fuck it, what do I gotta do? You know what I mean? He would be a professional and he'd get that job done well.
And yeah, it's just
what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean?
Why? Why? I mean, it's like everyone. I think it's like it's. I'm disappointed, but yeah, I'm slightly open to it because like there is that story potential where it's like, yeah, like we've seen the smartest man in the world be our greatest hero, but what if he was our greatest threat? I like that. I like that, but at the same time, I'm just like,
Mikey, you watched the comics explained on the What If story, didn't you?
I actually didn't.
Those What If stories. Okay, I read Infamous Iron Man and I read Demon in Armor, and guess what? None of those have anything to do with Tony Stark.
They're both
Doom stories.
No, they have nothing to do with Tony Stark. And the thing is, it's just like I can see that potential there, but again, it's just like I just want Doom, dude. Like just do Victor Von Doom proper, even if he's from another universe.
You know what they called Infamous Iron Man, but when it starred Tony Stark, they just called it Superior Iron Man.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we doing?
Literally,
you know
like that was the one thing I was gonna say too. Like, I'm not saying I didn't want to have Robert Downey Jr. come back as like a cameo or something, but like if I want him to come back proper, I'd want him to be Superior Iron Man, just be the dick version of yourself. That's what would have been hard if
and
like,
you know for a fact
in the symbiote armor and shit, and just being an asshole. That would be awesome.
You know for a fact that this Tony is going to just be written as Superior Iron Man, but his name's just going to be Victor Von Doom, and he's going to wear a full mask instead of like the domino. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're going to be like, why did they just Iron Man?
And they're not good, and he's not going to have the scar. He's not going to like be like visually, like facially disfigured. He's going to have like a little beauty mark scar or whatever, and some white eyes or something.
I mean, that's what he's supposed to be, though, right?
Oh no, Anthony Mackie spoiled that the Hulk is in Captain America: Brave New World.
Let's go.
Keeping
the tradition
slip on accident.
Keeping the tradition up. Rebecca, sorry, Rebecca, what were you saying? Sorry, because
I said they're desperate.
They are, man. It's like, and means like everyone at Hall H was like, "Oh my god, it's amazing." No. You were just distracted that like you were in the presence of Robert Downey Jr. Then you actually went home and thought about it, and you were like, "Oh."
Well, it's like one of those things too. I've seen like, and this is just observational, so take it with a grain of salt. I think normal, like casual viewers are going to eat this up And the people like us who care way more than they should are like,
And I remember in the Zion WhatsApp, shout out to Matthew. He was talking about how like kids my age, like the Gen Alpha generation, this is gonna be their introduction to Victor Von Doom if they don't read comics. I'm like, yeah, it's true, but like listen to what Tupac said. No, I mean, just because people just because they think that like there's 10 million Gen Alpha kids are gonna watch this movie and like it and think that Dr. Doom is great, but also like 10 million crack fiends bought 10 million rocks and like but that doesn't mean crack is good. No, I mean it's just. It's
not like the first time we've got a bad Doctor Doom either.
Yeah, they're all like 0 for 4 at this point, and I think the reason that this casting pisses me off so much is that it is so obvious that this casting entirely means they have no plans for this to go any farther than these 2 Avengers movies. I think the fact that they hit the big red button and pushed up the 2 movies from like 2027 and 2028 all the way back to like 2026, I think it's so telling that they're like, we got to cash in right now and get out instead of trying to actually take the time to rebuild this and make it something interesting again. Which I think is like,
we go, the more I'm like, we should have stopped that in game.
Yeah, right. Like,
and it's
like, and they're constantly talking about how we'll get to Nova at some point. We'll get to Ghost Rider at some point. And it's like, I think you're lying to me at this point. Like, no, you won't. Just say you won't. Don't lie to me and be like, yeah, Nova's coming, but he's going to come after the entire universe is gone. It's going to be a solo series that has nothing to do with it. And it's going to star someone like fucking...
They killed him.
They killed him. Oh, no, he talked too much and they shut him out. That's crazy.
Disney got to him.
They got the ops are in here, Rebecca. We gotta relax. But anyway, I mean, it's just it's unfortunate. It's just so lazy, dude. I feel like of all the things you could do with Doom, this is what you do. Like it, God.
Like I still think he's gonna be good. It's just not what I would have wanted.
And again, like I still think that story potential is still there. Like there's still some good story potential, but like, will Marvel be able to execute it? I don't think so. But hey, I mean, RDJ, listen, good for you. You're getting an extremely big bag to come back. And yeah, it's just, it sucks. I mean, and for people, people in the comments or people watching on IG, if you have any reasons on why, you want, like, you think it's a great idea, explain it to me, because I don't see it. I think it's just a complete distraction to make sure y'all are drinking the froth and not the coffee. Know what I mean? Like, it's just, y'all just says, oh, it's RDJ coming back, amazing. But then it's just like, when you actually think about it, like, no. And like the factors of like filming wise and all that stuff and like writing wise, like, no, this makes no sense. Like, I'm curious on how they're even gonna explain this. It's crazy. And Seamus is like, oh, LMAO, Disney cut the power to my house. So yeah, all right, but I don't know, Rebecca. Any other thoughts on? Actually, I'm curious. Who did you want to play Doom? Actually, I'm curious.
I didn't have a fan cast, as you know. I don't do that.
Yeah,
but like I said, just somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got. I could go on for a while, but like it's already.
Do we want to just wrap this 3-hour video up?
Yeah. And yeah, I think we're gonna end on IG pretty soon. But yeah, it is like any Rebecca, any just on Comic-Con in general, anything we just talked about, any final thoughts at all on just the show? Anything you wanna mention last minute?
Overall, I think it's a mixed bag. I didn't pay that much attention, as you can tell by me not being in the first couple hours of this video. But I think there's some good stuff mixed in. I just don't think, Comic-Cons are going to be the same as they were like 10 years ago when everything was like fresh and exciting.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. I think Seamus is back. Seamus, you alive?
They cut the power. They cut the goddamn power, man.
Listen, man,
in the middle of saying that.
Listen, man, you said your piece, and that's all that matters.
You know what is funny though? As I was offline for a bit, I looked at Twitter for a second, and yeah, it's completely like people. It was so many people under the report that Robert Downey Jr. was getting paid that much, and they were all like, I'm so excited. Can anyone give me the important stuff to watch? Because I haven't watched since Endgame, and I'm like, yep, this is exactly the people they wanted to watch these movies. So
they're drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, fuck me, I guess.
Yeah, the lunacy is unreal. But yeah, Seamus. Well, we're just gonna wrap it up. We're just gonna go through final thoughts real quick. What any final thoughts on San Diego Comic-Con? Anything you want to just mention?
I think despite the Marvel Hall H stuff, it was really good. I really liked. I think the comic announcements were the strongest thing that came out of this weekend.
For me as well, I thought this Comic-Con was good. I mean, I love the comic book announcements. Love the some of the movie announcements, the TV stuff. Like, obviously, not all the movie announcements clearly because the MCU got me fucked up a little bit. But yeah, I thought it was really cool. I've really been enjoying the panels a lot. And this year. Yeah, it's been a good time. There's a lot of stuff I didn't really mention because I mean, just for the sake of time, I didn't want this to be like 4 hours long, like the Snyder Cut. But there's some stuff that I also been watching and catching up on that I really enjoyed, panel wise and TV wise, movie wise. So this year was solid. I give this year like a. For me, it's a solid like 7.5. I thought it was good. It was a good year. But there are also rumors that as well that they might be moving San Diego Comic. They might be moving Comic-Con out of San Diego.
Oh damn!
Yeah, because of just the abundance of people coming, and also like in terms of like difficulties with people booking hotels, and obviously like and there's a rumor that it might move to Vegas, and Vegas would make sense because Vegas has the infrastructure to handle that much people.
Yeah.
And have a lot of people, a lot of hotels, like because Las Vegas Convention Center is surrounded by hotels and venues and stuff. So it'd be able to hold that much capacity. So
yeah,
I mean, we'll see what that happens. But with that, yeah, people. Anything else? All right, so we'll just close it out. So thanks for everyone who are watching this or will watch this. We appreciate the support. Check out more videos in the future. Check out some of the ones we've been doing ever since BlurCon. We've been trying to get back into it again. So check out the Boys review that me and Seamus did last week, which was a lot of fun. Check out the Captain America First World Order trailer. First World Order Brand New World trailer that I reacted to, which was a lot of fun. Stay tuned because Rebecca and I are going to be seeing Deadpool and Wolverine tomorrow, so be on the lookout for our Deadpool and Wolverine spoiler review on Wednesday, and that's gonna be. I'm very excited to talk about that because it's gonna be a good time. Check out the clips. Check out the more After Dark episodes that we've done. Check out the interviews, and there's gonna be more interviews coming soon. Because after I went to BlurCon, talking to a lot of the creators that I'm cool with, and we may be doing stuff slowly throughout the course of the year. Check out the reactions. Check out the Transformers series. Check out Deadly Class, which will be coming back soon after we get the Deadpool and Wolverine review out of the way. I'm very excited about that. Yeah, and comment, like, subscribe. Let us know what are your thoughts on Comic-Con. Did you enjoy it? What do you think you liked? What do you think you disliked? Click the notification bell so you know when we drop new videos. And as always, people, get home safe, and we'll catch y'all later. All right, peace. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.